Hello, I'm Eagle. Eagle's Garden. Eagle's Garden One on Eagle Instagram. This is fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 392. Hopefully, you guys have a great Friday. Looking forward to hanging out at least for a few minutes. Had some connection issues earlier. How's me talking here in the background? 302 episodes. You'd think I'd have that figured out by now. Huge apologies to Jimmy Toucan. We will be back with that episode on the 12th. Man, I'm still not quite sure what the hell's going on. I just found this in particular Wi-Fi is holding up for a few anyway. So I thought I'd get her going and at least pass it on to somebody while it was up and running. Keep Friday night up and rolling. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Redpill, Mason 662, Johnny KC, Stu Mood, Comfortably Numb, Worthy Buzz. I seen you playing. How you doing? What you guys smoking on? I have to give me some. Last of my little bit of fucking TK. Last little bit of my twisted TK. What is chat saying here? Single fathers, cheers to you, my friend. Cheers to you. Much respect to the single fathers out there. 8, you fell out already. Went 9 to 8 as soon as I looked over. 2 minutes of video. Already got it. I can't wait to play this Twisted TK. I really do like this thing. I'll probably stick around for a few. Hopefully I got a cut laying around somewhere. Star Dog and Ash. That sounds fucking delicious. Went to the t-shirt guy today. Thinking about a couple hoodies. Snagging some hoodies. What's up, Jesse? Maybe a few other goodies. Couple fucking talking shit with Eagle shirts. Maybe a couple hats giveaway. Few agenda. Oh, I love it when I just fucking wear shit. Damn, it's so hard to take that shit off. Just looking at that. Smoking some Granddaddy Kurt. Pretty damn. Good tune right here. I was looking for one in particular but I haven't seen it come up yet. Wanted to hear Proud to Be a Stoner. Because I am proud to be a stoner. Should just clicked on the catalog cans. Hopefully it brings one up. Anywho, I did update my Zoom. Maybe that was part of it, but I don't think it was the whole issue. To be honest with you. I might as well go with a cover, see if we can get away with playing some music format. I prefer England. Good guitar work anyway so far on this go. Man, episodes like this, rocking, 11, really makes me miss my brother so. And that dude had a lot of charisma to him. Miss you, brother. Miss being in your chats. Most of all. Most of all. What's up, Mr. Cry PTA? Said I don't know. That's a toughie. Cheers, everyone. There's Mr. Smiley tonight. What's up, Mountain Skies? Take a look back, see who would be this a day. Oh, North Star Genetics was this year, or 1 year ago today. Episode probably 44, something to that effect. And cheers. It's pretty slow tonight. 18 of us. Johnny came to see you popping in. Get on mute, Johnny. Check music out. There you go. Get unmute yourself, Johnny.
There I go. Thank you, sir. Check that baby out.
Beautiful.
That's my lady, the new one. Got the controller and everything on the top there. I got it in the 5x5. As soon as these ladies in here are ready, I'll just throw it in the flower and turn that one here into a separate flower kind of.
Right.
But
nice.
Love it.
Jealous.
I don't have my glasses on. Close my eyes while I do this. Look at that thing. I love it. It's so exciting. Good stuff. Top ramen for a couple months.
Nice, nice.
So that was it was exciting getting that thing and bringing it home. Yeah, I was very excited about that. Good stuff.
It looks like she'll do you well. I like the 5x5 idea, man. I've never run a 5x5, but I've always wanted a 5x5. Just seems, I don't know why. Yeah, just that little bit extra.
Yeah, I like it. It's nice to have a separate tent that I could kind of throw my overflow into, or actually I'm gonna, like I was saying, once those babies get into the right spot, I'll just throw that into a flower and flower all of them.
Johnny, I do know why I've wanted a 5x5.
Why is that?
I thought there for a second. Well, 3 good reasons, actually. One, I always feel like most lights are capable of a larger area. You know what I mean? Especially with the reflective walls, I feel like you could get away with, stretching the light size or area a little bit because of the reflective walls. 2, some fixtures, like the Low Pro Max there, are 4x4. That light barely fits in that tent, and you can pull up and down. And most of my fluorescent fixtures, my G5 fixtures, are 4x4 or a 4 foot right on the nose too. So if you close the tent in my fort, they bulge out the sides. So 5x5, it'd give a nice little leeway, give everything room and all that good stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. That was the reason that when I saw that one come up on the auction, I went for it. And a 5x5. I thought a little bit more room, that'd be good, you know, because I had a 4x4. As a matter of fact, at one point, you remember I had the 5x5 and the 4x4 set up behind me in this room. And then I took that out when I got my 4x8 and threw that one up. So yeah, it's
So are you gonna flower in? Are you gonna flower in the 5x5 too, or is that gonna maintain a veg status?
I believe I'm gonna flower in that one when the plants get to that point. I'll just because that way I'll be able to kind of reduce what I got going on here, because I went a little overboard the last time I seeded and cloned. Got carried away.
What, there's such a thing?
No, never. But it sure is fun.
Man, I don't know how many of you guys actually caught the swag I was wearing last night, but I got that package from Dabs for Dads the other day.
Yeah.
That Buddha with the he sent me the Buddha shirt, the skull Buddha shirt. So it's like
cool.
Buddha and like half the face kind of revealed, and it looks like almost like a mechanical skull almost. It's a cool ass shirt. But I wore it last night, and then on top of that, he sent a bunch of cool ass skulls.
Oh, right on. Nice.
And stuff to pass on to you guys as well.
Right on. Those are badass, man. I was checking those stickers out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that pineapple one. That's cool. Show me that again.
Oh, I think. Oh, there's the Buddha. It's almost too reflective to see it.
Yeah, it's too reflective to see it. You can't really see it.
So that would almost make a good tattoo. That Buddha. I like that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I like that.
It's got like the devil horns skull or bull horns. I don't necessarily have to be devil horns too.
Steer horns.
Sounds better. Purplish.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like the green.
Yeah, that's nice. I like it looks like the whole head is a dab. It's melting and shit. That's cool.
Kind of matches the misfit writing I have on my knee. It's kind of drippy like that.
So yeah, that was. I pulled a muscle, put my light up yesterday.
Oh no!
And my shoulder. Well, I also took everything out of my my flower tent, and I did a sweep on it, a clean and a mop and dust, and wiped down all my equipment. I mean, that was just
practice.
Boy, it was a needed thing, you know. The next one I'm going to do is
every run.
Yeah. Well, when you're doing perpetual and you only got one tent, you know, it's kind of I have to pull everything completely out and reset, you know, kind of. So it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but it's worth it, because now I don't know, it just seems to shine better, you know. When it's nice and clean, everything just seems to work better.
True.
So I've got I got a new little technique I'm doing. All right.
Yeah, what's it?
It's not really anything special, but sorry about that, flipping you guys all over the place here. What I'm doing now is, when I put my my frozen bottles down, I put the towel over the top, so it reflects inside there, inside the container. And if my container actually feels cooler, which is good because this one here is going to be ready here after a little bit. So I'm just getting her ready, starting to shock those roots. You know, that's kind of my little technique I was doing before with the frozen water bottles and stuff. You know.
Yeah, same show and tell. You want to see the one night scrogged out. That's that lady. Remember pulled apart the other day?
Yeah.
I just she she's almost pulled out now. Almost ready for flower. It's almost a 4
Man,
by
that's
4
amazing how it
by
lays out there. Yeah. Now, where's the top on that plant? Where's the top branch?
This would have been the top right here.
That one right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she,
I'm gonna
this
have
is,
to try that.
especially I'm finding for like the LEDs, you know what I mean? That where we can't get it up
Mm-hmm.
super large plants, we're going to try to keep them a little lower there. Are
Right.
working nicely, especially under that Mars. I've got that blue mile back there. I'm actually going to try one of these under the HPS. This one
You
may
mean that
go in that tent, right?
that low of a structure like that?
Yeah. Might work a little bit
Okay.
with the fixed location of the thousand dolly there. But man, I've never really had a whole lot of problem with them going close to that light. That light stays pretty damn cool. I mean, right at that light right now, at the edge of that light, there's you can see. I don't know if you can see that little square at the top of the light there.
Yeah.
At that point on the edge of
Uh-huh.
the light, it's 86 degrees on a 1,000 watt bulb, which I don't feel is bad.
That's not bad. 86. Yeah,
No, not for a 1,000 watt fixture.
exactly.
So they usually do pretty all
Man,
right getting somewhat close to the light.
Stoney Rockafeller made me feel bad, man. He's talking about his first man.
He's a good dude.
I was, wow, that's amazing. You know, I've never gotten anything like that off my plants. Of course, I've never actually tried to.
Boy, that DWC though, I mean, that's a race car method right there. If you get it set up right, you can push a plant to its limits,
Oh,
no doubt.
that's that high performance. Yeah. Yeah. One of these days I'll work on making a bigger plant. I just like the variety of different smokes.
Cheers, John. Cheecha B. Happy Friday evening to you guys.
Yes, happy
Going to
Friday.
take a look at the Colombian girls.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
let's take a
girls.
look. Yeah, see how they're doing.
All right. Looking pretty good. They're already in the one gals.
Right on.
Okay. Do you need?
Oh yeah. Oh, they look nice. How do you like the structure of them? How are they growing to you?
They look pretty nice. You can see they've already like stacking nice and close.
Yeah, it's got good notes. Nice
Yeah,
nodal action
yeah, they're
going
gonna
on.
be nice little bushes without even
Cool.
I'm happy. That which kind of they already remind me of a nice Christmas tree. You know what I mean? I don't know
Yeah.
why, but maybe it's the subliminal plant of the pine. You know what I mean? The pine
Yeah,
turfs.
they look nice. Every one of them look exactly well, kind of like the same height and everything. There's no really uh
One
shears
of
going on.
them, one of them is a straggler. That one of them is the girl that this one here. This one took
Yeah,
this one took another like 3 days to
really.
germinate and came up way behind.
Keep an eye
So,
on
and
that one.
I don't give up on the misfits, Johnny.
No,
I
keep
don't
an
give
eye
up
on
on the
her.
misfits.
Yeah, keep an eye on that one. Those late ones, man, sometimes they end up really being a surpriser.
Right,
Yep.
right. I agree.
That's like that my crazy hazy that I got. Man, it was really slow growing, and when it came up it looked like a broccoli, you know? Did not even look like a pot plant.
How's it looking these days? Did it grow out of the freak show?
Well, yeah, this is what the clones look like now. You can't really even see that slide. We'll fix that up. Yeah, this is my clone right now. This is how the clones come out. She's still got that funky looking leaf and everything going, you know? But this one, I mean, she always goes really, really thick up in here. All these small ones, and when she pumps up, this is what she looks like. You know?
Some nice buds there, some nice stacking for sure.
Yeah, she's thick all the way through. She's still got, gosh, probably another month to go, maybe right around there. Right around that, about 3 weeks to a month, maybe, something like that.
Forgot to tag and say hello to Lucky Mike. Cheers, Lucky Mike.
What's up, Lucky Mike?
I'm glad the Lucky stayed. And I never changed it in the shout outs either. It's
You
still
know,
unlucky.
I've heard you throw that out there a couple of times. And dang it!
I usually go back and correct it right quick or try to.
So everybody, make sure you hit that like button, and really enjoyed Stoney Rockafeller's uh, interview. That was a great meeting. Really interesting, and I'm
Sure
waiting to
was.
hear. I'm waiting to hear from all my other gromies here on the show here to step up and take the spotlight. You know, tell us your
I
story.
can't believe he came in here like all fucking wanting to do a dab song. That was fucking awesome. I'm like, hell
I
yeah.
know. Yeah,
Is
let's
this a
do it.
trick question? That's what I thought in my head. Is this a fucking trick question? Are you bullshitting me right now? Been fucking asking for this forever. Please.
Yeah, it's one of those things, man, and that's cool. He's gonna set us up with the song too, the whole band. So
Smiley.
have you talked to him about that?
Sorry.
Smiley on?
Yeah, he's on.
Oh,
He's
Smiley.
muted.
Yeah,
He's
what's
on.
up, man?
What's up, brother?
That's gonna kick ass, dude. The rock song.
Hell yeah. You kidding? Awesome. Man, that's a badass haircut you got there, Smiley. I was gonna say.
Yeah. Thanks,
Man,
man.
nice and clean.
Yep.
I fired my barber.
So fresh and so clean. You fired her?
You're talking shit, Jack. You're talking shit in chat about my hat. I played knifey spoony before. I just happened to have a knifey next to me, so thought I'd play along with chat there for a sec.
Yeah, you did. You got the Crocodile Dundee vibe kind of going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, man. More so than I don't know why. More so than the eye protection, which I try to wear when I'm in the tents, which I'm not always good about. I'll be the first to admit it, because I'm thinking always that I'm looking down and I'm not looking up at the lights, but it's still
Right,
bright
but
as
there's
fuck in there. You know what I mean? It's still.
Bright.
But I'm actually worried about my head, for my bald head taking on, shit from the lights. I've always worried about that as well. I believe they can be just as brutal on close intensity. You know what I mean? Shit, when I'm under them, man, they're like right there, and I can feel that heat, man. I can feel it like cooking my skin if it's just a bare skin. And
well, I can
I
attest to the
always
fact it'll burn the hair.
step right back out, put a head on. Yeah,
Yes, it
the
will.
heat, I'm sure.
My the previous light that I had with the cob light in there, I got a little close to the cob light when I was pulling some leaves off and stuff, and all of a sudden I started smelling burning hair, and I go, what the? It burned some of my hair.
As far as that goes, I told a long time ago when Mars Hydro had the blue veg panels out, they were like just blue spectrum LED. And MedGrower 1 was using that shit. And I texted him, I'm like, dude, you realize, man, that blue spectrum, that blue LED is fucking horrible for you to be under constantly or working under. And he's like, yeah. And I sent him a bunch of videos on that shit. And he's like, I think there was like 1 or 2 episodes and that light was like gone. I don't know if it spooked him or it wasn't had bad results. I doubt it had bad results. It seemed to be working well, but man, the research was there at the time. I don't know if newer diodes have changed anything. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
back
I think that gets like into the higher intensity of the blue, because blue light has more energy. It's a tighter wavelength, and there's more energy packed into it. Like red light, as you go out in the nanometers, the bigger the number or whatever, the larger the sine wave is of that. The frequency of it. Come on, Eagle! I said the magic word.
frequency, I picked it up too. It just as I was like breathing out. I think I heard it. I know it's weird. I did check in on Tao the other day. He said he'd been working his ass off. Liking what he's doing. I'll be checking in soon. But I do miss the crystals thing.
He was hanging out with GR420 community today, so he must have had his time off earlier today.
It is Friday. You know what I mean? End of the work week for most.
Yep, I was running behind, man. It was one of them days where I'm like, you texted about internet trouble, and I was like, yeah, I should be home like 2 or whatever. And I knew I had an hour, and I had like just a few things to do, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden I go back and I look, and 2 hours went by. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I didn't take no break either. I was busted ass on it. I'm like, hurry up and get this done. Take me an hour. No problem. Nope.
52.
Didn't even realize either.
I don't know.
Yeah, I hate it when I estimate a job like that.
Yeah. It gets stressful when you got it all planned and you got deadlines and shit like that.
Yeah. People wait to turn that key and open up the door.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I think there's something wrong with my the actual T5 connection. It's fucking barely working. And I tried to use uh the old network, Frontier. And you know what's funny is ever since, and it's coincidental the time at 9 o'clock every night. And I have had this problem since the prior show days, which coincides for the takeoff time. Every night at 9 o'clock, my internet goes cuckoo on the Frontier side. Like somebody like pre-programmed a DOS attack to like reoccur and fucking forgot about it or some shit.
Oh,
You know
no.
what I mean? And every night from like 9 o'clock on, that fucking internet was spotty as shit. So when the T5, the satellite connection wasn't working out for me, I tried the Frontier. And man, every time it would load up and I'd like get the connection and try to load up the launch page, the title page, it would fucking stop and buffer, disappear, come back. Fucking 20 minutes of that bullshit. I had to fucking text Jimmy and be like, I'm sorry, brother. How embarrassing. Can we please reschedule for the 12th? And fucking fucked with it for another fucking half hour. Nothing. Got frustrated. Played in the garden for a little while. Then it hit me to try because I had unplugged the satellite router a few times and I was getting the blue light, but the no connection from the wire. Checked it as far as I could check it. Can't figure out what the fuck's going on with that. And then it hit me, why don't you try the Wi-Fi of that router? You know what I mean? Skip the fucker dummy into the Wi-Fi part of it. And
Bada bing.
bada bing.
Really? It was that simple?
Yeah, but by then it was fucking, about 12:30 or so before I fucking figured that out, told the guest, rescheduled and all that. So I figured at that point, might as well take advantage of some time and get a little garden work done. So, I actually meant to hit that 220 mark,
But you got to figure it out. So that's the key.
Yes.
That's the key
Yes.
right there. You got to figure it out.
I don't think I'm that lucky to try to run the show from the hot spot like Smiley does. Man, my Sprint doesn't work so well out here in the sticks.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. You gotta have a good connection to do that for sure.
Yeah, that country connection is just not as good.
Get some bars going.
You probably got a couple more cell towers around you, right, Smiley?
Yeah, it's like what we all need. Another hole.
Right. Right. Have you guys heard about the new 6G coming out? It's supposed to be way better than the 5G.
What?
Whoa. Yeah.
We just got the fucking 5. I ain't even got 5G.
We haven't even got the 5G. They're talking about the 6G. You're supposed to be able to download a movie in a second.
Wow.
5G is supposed to do that.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm told.
It's just not as cool now that there's a 6 out, Eagle.
Gotta keep the carrot out there, I guess.
Right? That's what the fucking iPhones do. Jeez, OP.
Even though we're coming up on 400, just formally throwing that out there, because I do like to fucking change the artwork for the shows. Even though I think I'm gonna keep the kazoo cover for the wormhole, just seems to fit. But for the fucking talking shit with Eagle, I like to change the cover every 100, so you can actually kind of look at like almost like a library type system. Just by the cover, you can go, that's the 300s, 200s. You know what I mean? You
Right.
know. So as we come up to the 400s, I want to fucking look for a new cover for the shows. But I was in the t-shirt shop today, and I think I'm gonna go back a little bit. Where the fuck am I at? Right there, and get like a couple of these versions of shirts. The
Yeah.
logo, like the old, I grew some black with that. I think would be pretty fucking cool
I
as
think so
well.
too.
So,
Get
cool
you
guys
should,
over there at the t-shirt shop.
Yeah, man.
They are. I pop in there every so often just to fucking talk some shit. Hang out, whatnot. Tell you, it was
are
one
they
of those
still sporting
days.
the shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
Nice.
man, as much as I hate to say it, I made business. And I painfully say that. I fucking painfully say that. But the work is like falling right now. I mean, seriously. Even, I mean, some of it easy. You know, like not it. Well, the last one when the tile's out, I don't mind laying tile. Tile ain't shit. I'm good at tile too, but not necessarily my cup of tea. I have trim cabinets and shit like that. That's where you see me shine. That's where I shine like a diamond in the fucking trim work. Hey man, I looked at a fucking bathroom and threw out like it was one of the. It was a demo and like a putback, basically tile. Take out walk-in shower, and I honestly threw. I don't want to do it. Price at it. You know how you do that, Johnny? You work for yourself. Get out
Oh
and
yeah.
throw a fucking. I don't want to price at something. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
Threw that price out there today, and it wasn't even a
Yeah, and
phaser. It wasn't even a phaser, to be honest with
it
you,
wasn't even through
because
the
nobody
second
wants to work.
phase. Yeah.
Yeah. And with that being said, it's hard to say no to that. You know what I mean? When you throw
Yeah.
the price out there and they go, I'll take that shit. It's hard to go, I know I did. I went, I'll take that shit. I'll see
So
you
how
next
is
week.
it? How many layers did you have? Did you go down to the subfloor on everything on that? Redo
Yeah,
everything?
the other one's done. Yeah, it was 3
Yeah.
layers. You want to see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show a picture of that nasty stuff. I love those pictures.
Oh, you want to see the dirty dirt. All right.
Oh yeah, man. I've dug holes around the toilet drain, and had to break out the concrete because stuff wasn't going right. Redo it,
Oh,
you know?
hold on. All right. What's up, Scooter? While I'm looking
Yeah.
for pictures.
Scooter,
You're
you're
muted,
muted,
bro.
brother. You're muted.
Sorry, boys.
There
Yeah,
you are. You are.
having a hard time sleeping here, and thought I'd jump on with you guys and say hi to Johnny and Smiley and Eagle.
Oh, man.
Show some
Scooter.
love. Yeah, man. It's good to see you guys. I'm actually a little bit lit up here tonight, so I'm kind of in the same state Johnny was there a few nights ago. If you catch my drift.
Oh, little shroomed up there, huh? Nice.
Yeah. I did
Oh, I
with
need to be.
I did it with the lemon juice though. Holy shit, does that kick in quick?
Wow.
I've
Yeah.
never
What do
thought
you
about
mean?
that. Orange
Explain
juice
that.
works well.
So I
Explain,
fucking
explain that to me. I want
I
to know
took
about that.
I took them and ground them up in my weed grinder, and then I just kind of put it into a cup with like a couple squirts of lemon juice, And I let it sit for like 10 minutes, and then I mix that in with the tea after, like just a steep tea. And like 3 glugs, man, it's down. I tell you, 15, 20 minutes in, zing,
Wow.
come to
'Cause
life.
it takes a bit for that to kick in. So the lemon juice kind of activates it then, huh?
Well, I find it's sometimes they're a little harsh on my stomach. So I'm
Okay.
finding,
Yes.
I'm finding
Yes.
there's no bad gut. Your stomach doesn't turn. So it's really nice. I would highly recommend it to anybody is what I'm trying to fucking say.
So Johnny, this is where when I got into it even worse. I don't mean to cut you off.
I love the
The fucking
sign down
toilet
below.
flange. Yeah, don't
Oh
you?
my
Look at that toilet
God.
flange.
I
You
know
know what's
it's
missing
growing.
there? There's no,
It's
well,
growing.
there's no, that's I don't, maybe, maybe, but
Yeah.
there's no glue on that flange. It was just sitting in there all cockeyed, fucking leaking. Look at that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No
look at
kidding.
that. That's the actual pipe when I pulled it out. It was like no glue
It
or
wasn't
nothing.
even
It was
on
just sitting. Yeah, just sitting there. So then this is coming back. I've already got new 3/4 in there, and she was like in there cockeyed, too cockeyed to put just 1/4 inch. It would have been high, low. So I put the
Right.
floor leveler in there, all good.
Yeah.
And then look, this is over under the vanity. I can get that fucking to blow up. So look at that. The pipe that vanity where the was drained into the vanity. You see what you see what without words, you see what's going on there.
Yeah.
Centered.
It wasn't even attached. Like there was a 90 right there, and it was just sitting above that. So it was hitting the pipe and going and fucking around underneath
And
under
down.
the house.
Whoever put that in knew that was not fucking connected too.
Yes.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
it was soaking the 3 layers of the floor.
That's
That's
fucked.
it, Smiley.
Yeah. It's fucked. It was fucked. I had the whole day of
You knew
rebuilding that floor.
And whoever installed that had to. How the fuck do you not know that you didn't connect a drain? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of the
Alright,
times when I see stuff like that,
Did you
I
see
know
the tile
that,
work, Johnny?
Yeah. No.
All right. No? Well, I actually, the shower walls were just as bad. There's a window right there. I had to rebuild the fucking wall. I restud the wall, redo the whole fucking frame the window in and everything. And then tile everything back. So this is as I walked out yesterday. Same bathroom. Hold on, play the video from the beginning, walking in.
Damn. You see what I'm talking about? That's sweet, man. That's a nice work right there, bro.
Oh yeah.
New
That's
tile around
nice
the
work.
bath. There's still a little few ends to tie up there. It's a little bit of trim work. I'm waiting on them some colors matches to be made for the shoe.
Oh man,
stuff
I
like
can
that.
see her. I can see the lady smile ear to ear. She probably cracked her face with that.
Oh, you know what's funny is I was told beforehand that that curtain was always shut. You know what I mean? Always shut.
Now it's open because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't want to shut the curtain. Don't want to hide the tile.
That's nice, Eagle. Right on, man.
Thanks.
Excellent work.
I try.
That's that kind of stuff that when you get done with it, you just feel good about it. Because it's done right. They won't have any more problems. Whatever their problem was, it's solved. And they're happy, content. Yeah. It's good stuff. Love that. Well done, sir.
Yes, sir. I'd have to agree.
And a regular joker, I got to say, would have not used the leveler.
No?
No.
Do it right. Time I threw that 1/4 inch, there had to be one more 1/4 inch level there to bring it up with that floor that was there. Perfect.
Yeah.
Fucking perfect. It couldn't have been any more flat than to lay the next floor on. Perfect. Don't need to brag.
You just love it when a plan comes together, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Enough about my shenanigans. How was you guys?
Yeah. Well, I had a crazy weekend. I lost 2 people from my church. I lost a brother on a motorcycle accident and a lady from cancer.
Sorry
So there's another one for cancer. Cancer took another one of my people, you know? Hate that shit.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
And this guy, he's got a young lady that just went into college, first year of college, maybe her second year now.
What are the stats on the cancer now, isn't it? I thought I heard somebody say it was going to be like 1 in 5 people will fucking have it or some shit. Or it might even be higher. I don't remember.
I think I saw
it was
that
a number
same,
where you were like, holy shit. You know, like just
1 in
like, holy
5.
shit. I think they said autism was like 1 in 36 kids or something now, too. Like, that's even like, holy shit, you know? That's a freaky number, man.
And it ain't the vaccines, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's got a lot to do with it, but a lot of it I'm starting to believe has a lot to do with a lot of the fucking additives and preservatives and shit they're putting in these
Yes.
foods.
I agree.
I agree with that.
Shit tons.
All that crap they try to put in to help preserve the food for us so that we can eat it longer down the road.
Yeah, like McDonald's French fries.
Yeah.
McDonald's French fries sit in the back of a car for a year, man. That shit don't change its look. I don't get
Nothing
that.
grows on it, nothing, dude. They look the
Like,
same.
what the fuck?
And they're still soft. I'm just
I
kidding.
always eat
I've
them.
never
I don't
tried.
know. Fuck it.
Just try it out. Pick your teeth with
Waste
it.
not, want not. That's what I always say, you know. Fuck it.
Terrible.
You know, I haven't been able to eat McDonald's for years. Their food, because my digestive tract is so crazy, I can't even go near McDonald's. So
Yeah.
it just messes me up.
I get real nauseous after I eat stuff like that too. Like around us it's Culver's, but like Steak and Shake is another one if they're like national brands like that, but where they fry the you know what I mean? They fucking smash fry the burgers or whatever, and they're like thin burgers that are fried and fat for a week or whatever, but like I don't know, man. It's something about the grease or whatever. I just get nauseous feeling after eating all that shit.
But it sure is good, right?
Yeah.
Saturated. Yeah, it's trans fats it tastes good. It's like grandma's cooking back in the day, man. It tastes good. And she used those like big chunks of lard. You know, it was like, what's your secret, man? She was like, this stuff, Crisco. It was called like just like pure fucking lard, man.
She's just peeling it out with a fucking
yeah, it was like the best shit. Like I swear she put it in everything.
Yep.
Fucking wonder why we blew up by the time we were like 12, 13 years old. Grandma's cooking.
Mama used lard all the time.
Well, didn't I was listening to a book and I always draw a blank on the references, but they were talking about this study they did so like when immigration was really heavy coming into the US, like people were from different countries, right? So they would settle in areas similar because they all talk the same, you know what I mean? So there was some place where they got settled by Italians, and they like basically kept the same dietary schedule of like what they had in the old world Italy. And they were studying, it was a time when heart disease was a huge thing going on in the US. And they were looking at this small little Italian community that kind of stayed tight knit in it. you know, and they had all these practices from the old world, and they, in that little community, they didn't have the heart disease that all the other places, like the rest of the country, was having or whatever. So they started studying like some of their diets, and they thought it was in the diet, but fuck no, man. That's what they found was like these guys were eating like, you know what I mean? Like all the fucking meals were heavy calories, you know, it's like all the Italian meals or whatever, but they were going to town on them. But it was, the community structure is what they were kind of figuring that had a lot to do with it too. The way the community was structured, and you know, I don't know, just everybody was kind of, it was one of them towns where everybody knew everybody, you know what I mean? You were part of the family, whatever. And it was just interesting though, how like, the more we
Is that
look at
like
it, the
the
original way we
Basque,
thought things were isn't that way, you know what I mean?
like the Basque people up in the mountains, wherever they are, they have a completely different like genetic code that nobody else in the world has.
Do they? I haven't heard that one. I thought you were gonna go to the gut biome. They found some
No.
fucking so they've been studying the microbiome of us, right? And there's some like not aborigine, but tribe of people that are like in the rainforest. They're untouched, you know what I mean? They've been doing their own thing off in the rainforest, and I don't know how that came about, but they took a sample, like a stool sample, to check their microbiome, and it was the most diverse fucking thing they'd ever seen, you know what I mean, as far as like a human microbiome was concerned. So like whatever they're doing out in the rainforest and whatever they're eating is like totally like keeping their immune system perfect and keeping them healthy. And but I don't know. Wouldn't that be interesting though if they start figuring out that it like the gut microbiome shit, like I don't know, what are they gonna sell shit capsules? We're all gonna take capsules of these you know what I mean? This fucking primitive tribe of people, and we're gonna eat capsules of their shit so we got good fucking health or whatever.
Uh,
That's interesting,
yeah.
though. Look,
It's a yeah, they do that now though. It's like a transfer your microbiome. So like take a healthy person's, and I don't know, there was another thing I listened to where they like somehow like switched microbiomes of people, and like skinny people got the microbiome of like people that were obese, and obese people got the microbiome of people that were skinny, and like yeah, like it totally changed their metabolism and everything, man. Like weight just fell right off once they got their gut microbiome right from, you know what I mean, from a healthy person or whatever, and it just totally changed their body shape, everything about them.
What about the one that got the unhealthy gene?
It made them obese.
Turned into a sloth.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it shifted the body structure and everything of the person, but that's pretty wild, right? Like that's fucking totally counter of what we ever thought. Like people, we're trying to do sit-ups and Richard Simmons and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, that's a freaking trip.
it's, I think there'll be some cool, you know, some cool research coming out in a lot of that. I hope. Maybe not though. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll realize that that's the problem. You know, and like, fuck, we can't sell that. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah, I think they just need to stop messing with our food.
That's the biggest thing, man. It's all fucking covering up for the shit they do with our food. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just need to let people grow their own shit in their own yard. Get back to the natural things. Wait, I saw a program today about somebody that went to it was called a farm stay, and this is for people in Australia. And they go down to a farm stay if they're thinking about getting into the homesteading, you know, where you're growing your own plants and food and animals, livestock, all that. So you get to go down to a place that is called a farm stay and stay with the animals, stay on a farm, a working, living farm in Australia. So they get to see what it's like. Pet the chickens, play with the pigs, feed them, you know, feed the cows. And it's I thought that was a really a unique kind of a thing because I don't think we have anything like that where you could actually go and do a stay on an actual living homestead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've
I
seen
thought
that.
that was pretty ingenious.
There was a farmer that offered that for free, like letting people go put their feet in the compost and shit like that. And
Really?
another thing too, where they were like bathing in compost. It was like a sauna thing where they bury you like you get buried in the sand at the beach or whatever. They like bury you right in the compost shit. Like,
Just throw you in a pile of poo? Mm.
I don't think it's a pile of poo, but it's, you know what I mean, it's hot compost. It's definitely heating up, or it's warm or whatever.
Yeah,
It's steamy.
Steamy.
that's
To
cheecha.
be.
Comes
Steamy.
in with the word steamy.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. It was funny. Just as you popped onto the screen there, I was hitting enter, trying to entice you to come on. As soon as I hit enter, it's kind of funny.
Gotcha.
So speaking of like, I'm gonna cut you off. I just want to throw this out before I forget.
No, go ahead.
Do you think that it'd be possible with if you were gonna do compost like on a larger scale, maybe even I don't like a home, say maybe as you can incorporate solar and shit on a home level, why can't we do something like this? Actually, like a compost pile where you could actually run, because compost seems to get pretty warm, from what my understanding. Do you think you could run like thermal lines through there, basically water lines, for
I've seen
heating or
people
cooling
experiment with it.
purposes for other stuff? Huh?
I've seen people
I
experimenting with it. Yeah.
yeah, I've seen
I
something
mean, it
too.
would be wouldn't it be a dual use kind of? I mean, both one, provide yourself with the warm water to use. It wouldn't be terrible hot, but I mean, it would be usably warm, I would think, for some stuff. I mean,
Yeah, on
but
YouTube, there's a guy
wouldn't
that
it
does
Well,
it.
it
also
gets up
keep
to
you from like
150.
layering? Could you stop like maybe the layering process because you could like to flow cooler fluid through it to kind of cool it down if it got too hot? Or would it be better to just keep going with the layering process? But you
I'm
know what I mean? Back
definitely
and forth.
I'm definitely not super experienced in thermal compost like that, but that's the part I don't understand is how they keep it hot for so long, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But I did see a guy, there's a guy on YouTube that does a greenhouse, and he heats his greenhouse with a thermal compost pile in the corner, and then
Wow.
he lets his chickens in there too, and they're
Yes.
eating it and shit. So yeah, he had kept all his, I don't know, kept his greenhouse warm enough to keep his plants alive, I guess. So.
Wonder how much.
I've seen something of that nature too. It was in a cold region and they had a compost pile and it was actually working to circulate the heat around throughout the room. So that was really ingenious. So that's a great idea, Eagle. I mean, go ahead, teacher.
I
What were you
wonder
gonna?
how much compost do you have to like heat a greenhouse like that?
I don't know. I would imagine it's got to be a pretty decent pile, and from what I know of them, I think you got to turn them on a periodic basis.
Right. That's another thing. Like some people I've
Yeah.
seen, they have like the little turny thing, or you have to go out there and actually stir it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just kind of curious.
Me too. I don't have to.
Well, here's a twofer. I'm just thinking about this. Follow me with the wormhole, Smiley. The composting wormhole is what I'm thinking of too.
All right.
So to actually utilize the max temperature, you're fighting atmosphere and other things, kind of cooling it down. That back and forth. If things got too hot, then you got to add the cool. So in order to use it for like a hot water, like you would want to keep it at its hottest point for as long as you could, right? To use it for a hot water source instead of you know, like you're saying, keeping it hotter for longer. So my solution to that would be to dig down probably about 5 feet or so and then bury the lines, because now you're in the thermal bed, which stays ambient about 65. So you're never getting too cold. You're staying pretty warm, and then provide that like 3 feet on top of it, that 3, 4 feet on top, 4 feet with just a super hot compost and just that piece, and then maybe start on top of that, and so you got that super hot bottom.
No, I definitely, man, there's a lot of cool ideas for it. I'm not sure how to maintain the heat for a longer period of time. Like if your winter is 3 months long, to my understanding, a thermal compost is only going to heat up for a certain amount of time based on the biology and the food that's there. So possibly you could, maybe they're going back out there and stirring it up and spraying it down with some sugar water or something to get it all going again. I don't know.
Or have like a greenhouse on top of it, so it's like
have its own little atmosphere, right, Cheecha?
Yeah.
Because a pile will get to
cool,
160 degrees, and if you got a big enough mass there, that's 160 degrees.
That's most fucking hot water tanks you're setting at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're setting your hot water at fucking 140. Usually. Yep. Right around there. That's
coils of wire, coils of pipe through the center of the pile, and yeah.
I mean, think about it. Even if you like the winter months, shit, I fucking my septic is like high. You know what I mean? My field's high. So there's times in the winter where I can fucking see right where my fucking shit goes. You know what I mean?
Oh,
when
wow.
winter first starts, you can see the thermal heat of just the septic. So, you know what I mean? I would think in the winter months it would still even be hot, even though it was winter. I mean, I think even more so a thick layer of snow, like an igloo effect, would actually trap that fire in there and be hotter. Even if that, I would think it would be a good system. I mean, even if the fire quit like every 3 months, just dig it back out and start over. You know what I mean? Go, throw that shit into a garden or whatever, start the fucking fire again, another free hot water for another 3-4 months while the pile's breaking down.
Yeah, chat's saying house saying they're lasting for 3-4 months. So maybe, I'm not an expert in it by any means, for sure. It's cool. I do want to take a minute to point out the fact that it's Eagle that is trying to drag this conversation into the composting hole here, not anybody else. The dreadlocks are not far away, man.
They're all tucked up under the crocodile thing Dundee had.
Oh, you're muted.
Johnny. Thank you. Eagle, now that you got the hat back out there again, you got to show us the crocodile Dundee knife. It's
shit.
Part of it. It's part of it. This is a knife. That's what I wanted to see.
Notice that came way too quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, you got to stick.
You have that way too close.
This is a knife. Yeah.
Dang.
I love those things, man. Those are just little throwing knives.
You know what's sad is, again, I this wasn't even planned or intended, and there's 3 or 4 easy within reach.
Damn, Eagle.
Don't fucking piss him off.
Right?
Yeah. Here's mine. It's a big one.
Hey, hold on. Do I got one? I got a lighter.
Careful.
Right. Zombies gonna break in my house. They're getting fucked up.
I'll whittle that toe down.
Oh man.
Yeah. Hey, Eagle, I saw that knife site that you perused through. Man, that's got some badass blades on there.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure which one it was, but I seen that you liked on that. But Man, it had some nice knives. Those guys really know how to make that stuff. Beautiful
Oh yeah,
artwork. Artwork.
yeah. I love them. Some nice. The one the feather knife is custom. That's the custom Dominicans right here. Feather.
Oh, that's pretty.
Kind of opens
Yeah.
like the old farm or barber blade. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Right. Oh, cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Did they make that one?
I had it made.
Right on.
I had that one.
Nice.
That is
So
hella
cheecha.
Hmm?
Thank you. I cut you off as soon as you could come in, rudely, and then never let you talk.
It's okay.
Welcome and hello.
It's okay. I usually have the time just like, good morning. And half the time when I come in, I'm like, you guys are all like in a serious talk. I'm like, yeah, just don't mind me. Keep on talking.
It's not like that.
Yeah. Just slide right in.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, you guys stay
That's
awesome.
Stoney Pop.
I wanted to jump up and say hi to you guys tonight, and you guys fucking stay lifted. I'll catch
Don't
up
leave.
with you. Yeah, man. I'm
Hmm.
gonna close my eyes. I was having a hard time sleeping. I woke up. I passed out earlier, and yeah, I went for
And
a
if
little.
I'd have known this was going to
having
be
a
a
little,
quickie, I would have shut the fuck up and let you talk.
Yeah, what the fuck, Eagle?
I know it, right?
Hey,
Damn.
I seen the wormhole going, so I was like, and I seen Smiley on here and Johnny, and I was like, fuck, man, I just want to jump up and say hi to you guys and show my respect.
Right on, Scooter.
Come in
yeah.
and
Sister, man.
yeah, man, appreciate that. Guys, stay awesome. We'll catch up with you soon.
Hey, bro.
Awesome.
Sweet dreams.
Catch that fun
Brother.
dream.
Yes, I will now.
Yeah.
You might
All
want
right,
to.
man.
Stoney's here too. I don't know if you see him, but he just popped in. You might want to say hi bye to him as well. Cheecha.
What's up, Stoney?
Uh,
What's up, brother?
nickname Story Rockafeller.
You're
now.
muted.
You're muted, brother.
Muted,
Yes.
Stoney. Yeah.
There we go.
There you are.
Yeah.
There you are.
Johnny, how you doing?
What's up,
So
brother?
you're leaving already, man? What's going on?
Yeah, man.
It's early by you.
I've had quite a night. I'll catch up with you.
All right, man. Later, dude.
You know, Stoney, I thought I recognized that character you have on there. I grew up with that guy.
Yeah, man. Stoney Curtis.
Yeah, I grew up with that guy on the Flintstones, man. Yeah,
And then there was Brock Rockefeller, the other half.
exactly. When you started talking about that, I said, "Oh, now I remember." Okay, I got
Yeah,
it.
right?
Yeah,
That was a great episode, man. That's how I
definitely,
guess
man.
they
Every
gave
one
me
of
my
those.
name.
Yeah, in the bedrock,
Oh, yeah, man. Those were the good old days, right?
definitely.
Get
They
big
even
giants.
had aliens back in those days, huh?
Yeah, Kazoo, right?
Yeah, that's where I thought Kazoo got his name.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. So what's happening, everybody?
How you doing?
Come on.
I just popped it on for a minute because nobody wants to hear me keep going. I did enough last night. Holy shit. That was good,
Oh
man.
no,
No, it was
that
good.
was fun.
I didn't.
Fun
I
episode.
actually left, or after I got done, I fed the plants. Then I had to shoot out, drop off the thing for my daughter. Then from there, I had to go downtown Chicago, drop off a fan for this guy, and then drive back all in traffic. Man, I didn't get home till like noon. I finally went to sleep. I just got up a little while ago, so I'm feeling good.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Rested, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was supposed to actually play tonight, but yeah, that didn't happen. I was eagled out, man. So what's good? I'm just here for the ride now. I'll listen and I'll jump in every once in a while.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Good,
that's
good.
awesome. Chad.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Fucking
Westport in the
Chad.
house.
What's
Cheers,
this?
bro.
We got Mr. Westport in here now.
Oh
right?
yeah.
I
Look
guess.
at that, brother.
Ted.
All right.
How y'all doing?
I love the fact that Ted Westport is no longer a box.
Yeah, right.
Smiley face. Cheers, Chad. Cheers.
Cheers, Eagle. I was loving the hat. I turned you on a little while ago and I had to figure it out. I had to stare for a little bit. I'm like, they're tucked up. I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Are
Actually,
we-
it's not even tucked. They button that way. Huh?
Ooh, snaps.
Oh. I like how you did that.
Total stylish.
Hell yeah.
I think
Oh,
the
God.
older that we get, the wilder hat you're able to pull off. Like old men
Right.
can pull off a hat that a 20-year-old just can't pull off.
You're like, kid, why are
That
you
is
wearing
so
that?
true.
It's all in the attitude, I think, Chad. It's all in the attitude. When you get a little older, you just don't care anymore, you know? You're just doing your thing and you're happy doing it.
I remember when they used to wear
It's
them
like that wild hair.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
they
like
used to
that.
wear 'em what?
barely.
I almost want to go grab my hat now.
Like it was like just barely on your head.
They didn't live in Chicago then.
No.
Yeah, too windy for that.
Dude, when I
You really
moved,
got to put it on.
when I moved from that area from Michigan, actually out to the West Coast of Michigan, everybody wore their hat over their ears. But when I
Yeah,
got out here,
yeah.
everybody's like, "You're weird, dude." So
No,
Yeah,
they
it
did
was
that here.
out the ears out.
Oversized and over the ears with the flat bill. Sometimes they're cockeyed, sometimes they're not. It all depends on who you hang out with. But yeah.
Stoney, speaking to your as you get older and you give less shits about things. I stopped into the local grocery store. I'm pretty sure it was not last night, the night before, technically. And the gal up was like in a borderline mood. You know what I mean? And I couldn't help but ask, because I see her all the time. What's up, man? Fucking speed of goodwill, what's up? She's like, I just had the weirdest thing happen to me, and I'm just unsure about how I feel about it. I'm kind of mad. I don't know. I'm like, so let me in. She's like, I just had this 75-year-old man pinch my ass. And I was like, I said, all in all, hats off to him, man. If I can only hope to have that kind of fire
Frisky
and
old
balls
fucker.
at 75. Yeah. Man, that dude still got them balls. Holy cow, man. That's
Did
some
he ask
guts.
for a sponge bath right after he picked?
Are you available later for a sponge bath?
You get that time, baby.
No. She said it just fouled up with that casual like smile and like wink. As she just walked by and grabbed some ass through the smile.
I would imagine.
How does that?
at
Have a
some
nice
point-
day.
Dude, I think the logic is at a certain point when you get old enough, you're just like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think at a certain point,
Yes.
we're just like, fuck it. I'm old enough. They're not going to do shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could just get away with shit.
You almost become a kid again. You get away with shit.
It's another one of those things like
So-
over 70, it's cool. 20, you get
I
arrested.
I could just pretend I'm senile or something. They won't think.
Yeah,
I
when they
can't
get
help
older, it's
but
like, oh,
moment.
that's so cute.
As soon as you get
I
done
can't
slapping
help-
her ass, you gotta walk over and just start talking to a shopping cart and shit.
I
Just pretend
can't.
like you just,
Oh, you're not my
I
wife?
can't-
Oh, sorry.
I can't help but wonder, man, when that shit in our age, you know what I mean?
Man.
It still plays out like in slow motion, and You know what I mean? But when you're 75, it's already in slow motion. So I wonder how long that moment actually fucking took in his head. You know what I mean? Was it like a whole scene and shit that played out
It's a fucking
completely
movie,
different?
man.
and shit?
It
Oh,
was a
that's
fucking
too good.
movie.
It was premeditated, is what you're saying, Eagle. It was premeditated.
Oh yeah, I think it was just like
And
you said.
time
He
lapse.
seen it like I'm going for it, and they just play it out. You know what I mean?
So he
Slow
got
mo
to,
time lapse.
Right?
Total
he got to
slow-
enjoy it more. It
Right.
lasted so long. It's like, this is like great, man. You know, normal
Yeah,
slap
that
for
was
us.
a heck
it's
of a
like,
duration.
Takes them longer to focus. The eyes have to adjust to it. I like me and this girl, we went to high school together. We still totally remember this moment, but we went out to like a Tolo date and we went to a restaurant beforehand and we get there and like there's this older couple coming out. I open the door for the date, of course, hold it for the older couple. The older couple exits. The guy like exits the door, turns around, ups and downs my date, smiles, and then goes back to walking with his wife. And we're just like, like no shame, no hiding it. He just said,
Yeah, but his wife is
Yeah.
probably like, whatever.
Yeah.
Typical Tuesday.
and at that very moment,
Uh.
I hashtagged life goals. So I can't wait to get older, and then I could be a dirty old man, and it's socially acceptable.
I love you, Chad.
I
Wow.
love you.
I know, right?
You can walk right
Hey,
into the ladies' room, Chad.
You know,
Socially allowable.
Not a problem, too.
his wife probably was thinking, "Oh, that's the one you want tonight."
I know how to dress tonight, she says.
Chad's just gonna be like dropping shit on the ground.
I like
and
your-
asking ladies to pick it up. oh, ma'am, can you pick up
Oh,
my
thank you,
pen I
sweetheart.
dropped?
You guys know about that one?
The chick was thinking that your lady was her type.
Yeah, she's probably like, yeah, that one, honey. He's like, let me check.
Yeah.
Let me give her a visual pat down.
Yeah, visual pat down.
I just want to see Chad's shoes. Are they reflective? They have-
Oh, yeah.
I get it. I see what you're doing there.
What's that Velcro thing
Got
on the
mirrors
top
on the
there?
top of the shoes.
He doesn't
I don't
have
shine the
he just
shoes
has two
because I
Michael
like-
Jackson gloves.
Michael
Oh.
Jackson gloves.
The day you see Chad on the back porch with some reflective spray paint and a pair of shoes, you know we're all in trouble.
That's what I'm talking about.
And a paper bag for inhalation.
Hashtag cash me under the bleachers.
What's up, Cascadian? Good to see you, brother.
Yes, sir. Cheers. Bro.
That's classic, man.
We're inhaling
Cheers,
paint
brother.
over here.
Yep. It never goes the other way though. How come no old ladies have ever grabbed my ass?
Do you really want that?
You gotta have one for them to grab it.
Go to Las Vegas casino at 2 a.m.
I just gotta serve it up.
Chad, hit the
Careful-
gym, start
careful
doing
what
squats,
you-
man.
Careful
Yeah, you
what
gotta do
you
those
wish
squats.
for,
You gotta
Chad.
do those
Man.
butt
Careful
squats.
what you wish for.
I've had a couple of ladies come at me in a way that I was not prepared for.
Oh no.
There's nothing that gets you ready for that kind of thing.
So-
I don't know
Cougar,
about that.
that cougar kind of action. Rawr, she comes at you.
So,
Is surrounded by Keith still in the chat. He'll tell you where to get your ass pinched.
What?
Nothing.
I missed that.
Nothing.
So
Nothing.
I guess it was like senior kind of ass day or days around me, to be honest with you, because this is no shit. I stopped into one of my second favorite places today. Shit you not, the tattoo shop, and I'm a regular there, so I'm hanging out, behind the counter and all that good shit. And lady wanders in, and she's probably about the same age, to be honest with you, 65, 70-ish. Wants to cover
Great
up
age.
on her ass. Wants cover up done on her ass so it was a pretty good cover up on a 65 to 75-year-old ass. And I couldn't help but bite my
Did you have to
cheek and
stretch
be
it
like,
out and
oh,
hold everything so you
lucky
That's what I'm
you,
thinking. It's like-
Chief. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
If there's a chick
was
that's
like,
70 years old, but she's got a 20-year-old ass job, that's still a 20-year-old ass then, right?
No, that's called share.
Oh.
No, that was not a. If we were on a grading system, it was not a 20-year-old ass. No,
That was not. No.
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 I guess you win some and lose some as a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not always a
Yes.
win-win.
And you charge accordingly.
Yeah.
Charge accordingly. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
What does she want to freshen it up with? Did you catch that part? Like,
Her tramp stamp.
Man, she wanted it covered up with something paisley. Something paisley.
Paisley.
Yeah.
Brad Paisley.
So she made it real fun for you.
Oh, not me. I exited left when it came to the butt conversation.
Like, yeah,
I
no.
was like, yeah.
Come out.
Oddly enough, yeah. I was like, I'm out of this one. I'm out of this one. See you later.
He took the Pink Panther route. Exit stage left.
That's another one, Johnny. I haven't thought about Pink Panther in a long time. Holy shit.
Oh hell yeah!
No, yeah, Pink Panther.
Exit stage left, man. That anytime I hear that, that's Pink Panther.
What was the anteater's name on there? Remember, there's the anteater.
The
Yeah,
aardvark.
the aardvark. Is that what was his
Yeah.
name? Did he have a name? I can't remember.
I don't know if they personalized that guy or not. They probably did. I can't remember. He wasn't as important.
No. He always gets his ass kicked from
It was
me.
the aardvark.
Everybody's seen an anteater, but nobody's seen a Pink Panther.
Right? Factual. Until he became a corning,
Right.
right? And then he was everywhere.
His
Damn guy.
his name was just Aardvark, the ant and the Aardvark.
It might have been just the aardvark.
I don't remember that part.
Even though I know it's a cartoon, but speaking of like bad celebrity endorsements, I'd love to hear some of your guys that you've seen. Probably one of my favorite, the worst, was in the hardware store. It was a picture of MC Hammer, had a stop sign and said "Stop Hammer Time," and it was like wall hooks to like tape to the wall. You didn't have to use a hammer. Like, dude, how'd you get paid for that one?
Yeah. He had a few commercials that were kind of corny.
Let's see.
He loved those pants.
Quit. Hey, too legit to quit. Hey. No.
yeah. Spawned
Chad, nail it.
spawned his own fashion and everything with the pants too.
Oh, no.
Yeah, those balloon pants. Yeah.
I went and saw him at like the tribal casino probably like 6-7 years ago, and it was sad because everybody like stayed. He saved like Can't Touch This for the end, invited people up on stage, didn't even really sing it, and then he's like, okay, we're gonna play a few songs off the new album. Half the place left.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. I was actually on my way out, but I was like, no, we gotta stay.
Right.
we can't leave. It's
We can't do this to the hammer.
I need that selfie, damn it.
right. I wish
You
I was
saved the
thinking
hammer from certain doom. Who knows what he
Right?
would have done?
I felt bad though. I mean, seriously, it's like when half the people are there because you're a joke, but they still paid money anyways. I don't know how that works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, do you remember Night Ranger, Chad?
Night Ranger. God, that sounds good.
They had like some hit song and they were
Yes.
big for a minute.
Yep.
Man, and I seen them. It was like 5-6 years after their hit or whatever, and they're playing at Great America.
The casino tour.
Wasn't it?
It wasn't even a casino. It was great. It was an amusement park, man. It was almost Spinal Tap-ish, you know, like they're opening up for the puppet show or some shit. It was
In Ernie,
terrible.
Illinois.
I
Oh,
felt,
no.
yeah.
The
Yep.
thing
I felt
after-
terrible.
Yep. After the casino tours, then you go to the county fairground tour, and then you just start playing like the Eagles Lodge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eagles
I
Ball.
saw,
Eagles?
I saw Pat.
Eagles Ballroom in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Is that what you're talking about?
No, never been there. Don't know her.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw Pat Benatar at the Paris State Fair. And it was great. She was great. You know, it reminded me back when she was still rocking it out. That was back in what was it? Probably 92, right in that era.
So if Pat Benatar was at the tattoo studio and asked for an ass tattoo, would you hang out?
Probably not.
Right?
Probably.
Yeah, I would.
I'm in the yes
I don't
camp.
know about that one.
So 65-year-old ass could be acceptable if it was the right ass.
Oh man.
Probably.
I don't
Chad,
know.
do you think less of me? If I'm gonna
Probably
be
because there was probably a little childhood crush there at some point. Maybe I'd want
Right.
to be just I don't know. But just since we brought up the tattoo and the ass thing again, you see me cover my face there. I gotta let you. I'm telling you guys, there is a constant comedy skit playing in the background. So I look up in chat there, and I see the comment: "We're born in diapers, and we're end in diapers." And I think to myself of like a 75-year-old ass tattoo, and the artist going, "Hold on, you want me to bandage that up before you go?" And a freshly pen's coming out of the purse, going, "Nope, I've got this."
I got my Depends.
Got this good, all covered up. Gonna soak up all
Dual
blood.
purpose.
Good. Oh, just never quit.
yes.
Sorry.
Oh man, have we reached?
Shit.
To James Chrysler in chat, I have no idea what's going on, bro. I just walked into this. I don't know why we're talking about senior citizen ass. But I'm here now, so we're doing this.
We're doing it.
Someone
Doing
said
the thing.
ass and we went with it, man. That's all that happened there.
I'm just, drinking coffee.
I'm not responsible.
Someone else want to throw a word out there and we'll go with that or what?
You guys,
Yeah.
somebody mentioned, I think it was Johnny mentioned the Paris State Fair.
Yeah.
Made me wonder, why the hell don't we have world fairs anymore? Aren't we about due for one? I mean, I know there's a pandemic and all, but can't we go back like to normal with the bang of a world fair? Like,
Yeah, come on, let's electrocute the
That-
elephant. Come
how
on,
long's it been though? It's been like,
Why the elephant? What'd the elephant do?
because that's how you kick off a World's Fair.
That's definitely how. Who was it that did that? That was Westinghouse.
Thomas Edison, his bitch.
Thomas Edison. Yeah.
Well, that's how we got the
Yeah.
Space Needle, right? Cascadian
Right.
grown was World's
yeah.
Fair.
I think, I don't know if that was the last one in Seattle, but
That I've been on top of the Space Needles, 910 feet. Did I get it wrong? It's not 910 feet.
I think we're about due. I think the world needs a world fair.
We
Yeah,
need-
we need
Heck yeah, I'm down for that.
something fun.
A World Cannabis Fair.
I like that one. Now you're talking.
Right?
or at least
I think that would be a healing effect.
We might all get along, man. Oh no, shit! They don't want that.
too dangerous.
Way to ruin it, though.
I did think that
We like
would
each
be-
other. No, we don't want to.
People might be happy for a minute. Holy shit, we can't have that.
that would actually really change the world if for some reason you can get everyone in the entire globe to be all on the same page and indulge in a cannabis, whatever you want to call it, festival, party, celebration for, I want to say 72 hours. If that happened for 72 hours, then everyone would fucking just,
I don't know if I could handle everybody getting along like all at the same time. It'd be weird in a sense.
It's actually kind of cool. I ran into a weird situation when I went to the Cup in Clio back in 2019. So I paid for the VIP tickets because that would allow me in early, and then you got a t-shirt, which I'm wearing, or I was wearing yesterday, and something else. So we got there, and that day was like 89 or 90 degrees. So it was like the first very hot day of the year. And we were out there standing in this. I was like a mile back, man. I was all the way down the road, and I'm standing there baking in the sun. And as we're standing there waiting, all the general admission people are just zipping right on by, and they're just letting them all in. And now everyone's like, well, wait a minute.
Right.
But you know what? Nobody freaked out. People just started smoking in line, passing joints around, talking, and there was no problem. I'm thinking, shit, if this was like a drinking event,
oh gosh,
it would have been, it would have
fight.
lasted an hour, it would have been over. Because I mean, people were baking. There was no place, you're out, that parking lot, there's like nowhere to go. You're out in the middle of the sun, it's baking you, you're dying.
Right. Yeah.
But it was cool, man, and everybody got along. I didn't see one fight. I didn't see, some drunk young girl laying in the corner crying, her boyfriend down there, oh baby, I'm sorry, none of that. Everybody's getting along. Weird stuff was I saw people that looked like my parents walking with plants and shit, smiling, like, and I'm like, I would never think you two are doing this. There's no way, man. You're the guys that I think are against it, but here they are, and it's all smiles, and it was great, man. So yeah, they're not going to do that for the whole world, but we'd all get along.
That would be a nice thing, though.
Yeah, I would.
That's a sight, though, man. Seeing an elderly couple walking with some plants. That would be something.
I'd be like, hell yeah.
The closest thing I could see getting to that is if there is either federal decriminalization or legalization, and then that kind of spreads to the rest of the world. And then let's say, even if it's like 60 years from now, there's a 420 that it's the first 420 that everyone celebrates, and there's no prohibition or illegalities anywhere else in the world.
I'm still trying to figure out how we gave them the rights to do that to us. Take away our rights.
Yeah, I thought we were supposed to vote on that stuff. I thought we were supposed to tell them how to do it, exactly. Not the other way around, right? That's the way I learned it in school. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like Worthy Buzz's comment in chat is we should have something like an Olympic torch, but it's a bong that's passed around and never washed. It'll be epic.
Oh no! Count me out.
Hey, I don't know about
that. The communal bong.
That never. I don't know about the never wash aspect, but we did used to have something called the pass it to the right rig. And it would be a rig that, like, say I sent to Johnny, like, here, Johnny, here you go, take a few dabs out of this, whatever. And you're like, cool. And then he took a few dabs out of it, and then he sent it to Eagle. And then Eagle sends it to Cheecha. And then Cheecha sends it to Smiley. And it's just like what we call the pass it to the right rig. And get to see how many people you get to pass it to before it either goes missing or, ends up breaking. But it's a ceremonial rig. That we
interesting concept.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that's cool.
We got to get that started.
How many stoners does it take to carry an Olympic torch? Who knows? They're all busy lighting their joints off of it.
Yeah. Hold on, let me light this.
Hold
Let
still.
me use that for a minute, man. Hold still. Man, you got a light?
No, instead of like a torch, it's just a big fat doobie.
Yeah.
I'm imagining the fire spinning with an Olympic torch.
Heavy cones. So I'm assuming, but that's always bad. In Michigan, do you guys have infused joints with like a little bit of oil in the flour, or do you just have pure joints in the stores there?
I'm sure there's.
Get them anyway. Well,
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, just curious. Those pack a little extra punch. Sometimes they get clogged though, because all the oil kind of comes down to the
Right.
cone, and then if you put it out or stop, it just hardens, and you're like, fuck. But I could picture the
If they
Olympic
do
torch
it
being
right.
that.
If they do it right, Chad Westport, in my opinion, a lot of them provisioning centers, in my opinion, do that shit for show, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
When I say that, it's on the outside. They drizzle it around, make it look pretty, or they
Yeah.
put the oil on it and roll the joint in the fucking keys so it looks strong. In my opinion, that doesn't do shit. It's a nice joint incense at that point. I really don't believe it's going through the paper, soaking in the paper or going around
man,
and
that's
back
me.
in.
You got to hot box that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only like the ones that are on the inside. On the outside, it's totally all for show, and especially the keep ones. It's like half of it falls off before they even get to smoke it. So
I was just gonna say that's what I like THCA isolate for. Just dustify or add that little dust to a blunt or a joint, whatever you're gonna roll up. It burns. It has that smolder burn to the cherry where you can tell it's got like some kind of hash or concentrate to it. But I feel like you're utilizing and not wasting, especially like what we would call a Willy Wonka joint, where you literally just take a BHO snake and twirl it around the fucking joint. Like I said, that's more for comedic effect.
Mr. Westport, when I was working the clubs a year or so ago, I was actually selling pre-rolled they weren't blunts because I wasn't using a tobacco paper. You know what I mean? I was using the blunt wraps. That's a blunt wrap. I wasn't using. You can buy them in like a paper form, hemp and shit like that, hemp papers and shit like that, but the same size as the blunt wrap. But I don't care for the blunt wrap. So I was actually rolling them in a hemp paper, and I was taking an eighth of weed, and I was like 2 to 3 grams worm in the middle of it.
Damn.
So it was a pre-fucking rolled with a fucking a hash worm through it, So it was a blunt, super blunt, basically. It was some fire weed, and I would sell like different kinds. I've always got different kinds of cannabis, so I was like, "Here's your orange,"
I don't know.
just
I don't know
kinda
what this
have them.
is, but that
yeah,
one would have to be like half of this or something.
Them are the best. I actually like rolling out of that stuff. That stuff right there, I wouldn't even dab that. I would same thing. I would snap one off and fucking roll a worm out of that, throw it right in the middle of my jar. It's so much better of a high. So much it lasts longer too. But that's
Does the joint doesn't burn weird though with that in there?
Not in a worm.
No.
A little bit. I put a little bit in the roller. I drop that worm right in the center, and then I put some over top of it. So I make sure that worm's right in the center of that bad boy. So there's a little bit of aeration and room for it to collapse. It burn. They use it nice.
I almost want to say it helps the whatever term you use, boating, canoeing, or running. When the joint is cherried and it kind of moves around and burns on one particular side, it kind of helps that. But then depending on how you're hitting on it and how fast you're smoking, if it's full of hash or oil like that, if you're just taking power hits on it or trying to smoke it as fast as you can, it kind of gets like resiny clogged towards like the last quarter of the
So
joint
I'm
/pen.
actually in the middle of a scientific approach to understanding what happens when we burn a joint. You guys might find this interesting. That's why I'm bringing it up. I was having a conversation with a couple of intellectuals the other day, and it was pointed out to me, and it makes sense that like I don't have a. You got a joint, right? And you light it, and you got the cherry on this end. That the heat, the pyrolysis. I think I said that right. It's late. Don't quote me. Of
Decarboxylates the back
of
end.
the
Sounds smart to me.
of the ember, the coal in the joint is the heat is traveling down the joint as you inhale.
Yeah.
You're actually converting THCA to THC to other cannabinoids, not where the cherry is, but in the
back
joint.
end.
Right, because of the heat.
Which is why when you get to the end of a joint, the effect
Oil.
changes. I don't know if you've ever put out a joint and then relit it and it's only this long, and it just doesn't hit like the original joint did.
Right.
That's because you've already like decarboxylated a bunch of the THCA when you were smoking it the first time, and you're getting it's changing, like I'm trying to understand what it's doing to the terpenes, and it's breaking the terpenes into pieces. I'm trying to figure out what they turn into, what the effects of those pieces are. So I'm in the middle of this scientific understanding of what the hell's going on when we burn a joint. But I thought you guys would find it fascinating because I didn't ever actually consider the fact that you're actually getting high from in here, not the part burning. I always like, oh, that's the part on fire. That's the part getting me high. No, it's
right
really in here. So then I had
It's
the
more
thought,
of a vapor
it's
that we're
It's
well,
the cooling effect.
the heat.
I've spoke of that too.
You're
Yeah.
Cascadian. I've got these bottles I made that they're tote bottles. Basically, there was one right here. So I made a bunch of these slap stickers on them a couple years back. These tote bottles. So
Cheers,
putting a hole
420.
here, one in the bottle. And you can
Hell
smoke,
yeah.
and the same notable difference you're talking about there, but on a little bit different level. See, I noticed the effect I could smoke that joint
Cheers,
and
it's
get
420.
one high off it, and then smoke that same strain in this bottle. And everybody noticed that as well. That got one of these bottles, smoking the same strain through the bottle, kicked their ass. Completely different high. And I think it's exactly what you're explaining. As it hits, that temperature is the high. You know what I mean? You're saying as it gets closer in the joint, it gets hotter and the effect changes. But in this case, I'm believing it's the opposite. It has time to cool in this bottle, and it's delivering a more laid back and heavier body high than the hotter smoke that, as you're talking about in the joint comes back. But definitely a same notable difference, and it's all in the temperature. I believe.
Well,
as
yeah.
you're saying. Same,
Yeah.
same. But you're talking about taking
yeah.
it
Keep
high
going,
versus
Cascadian. I want to
low.
hear more.
So when I light a joint, I take tips from cigar smokers. And if you've ever seen like a connoisseur fucking cigar smoker light a cigar, he doesn't do it with it in his mouth. They're not
Yeah, they
pulling
do it
smoke
different.
through it while they light it.
Eat it.
They light it out here, and then they let it cool off, and then they hit it. Which in the long run, if you're chain smoking off that much, it's not going to make a big difference. But cigar smokers will light puff for flavor. And I always took that as I don't know why, but I always took that to heart because they're smoking for flavor. They're not chain smoking cigarettes. Like it's a different.
Right. Yeah, it's more of a.
No, well, yeah, I don't smoke cigarettes, so I don't even know if it's physically possible for me to smoke a blunt / joint as a cigarette because I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't know the difference between the two, but same thing. like I'm treating it more as like a cigar than a cigarette in theory.
But yeah, I found it interesting that you light the tip. The tip is on fire.
Oh yeah.
But you're decarboxylating the weed in here that hasn't even caught yet because
Yeah,
you're
that's what I was
pulling
gonna
the
say. And it's the
hot air
first
across
drag
it.
too, because that first drag, that smoke isn't hot enough heat to decarboxylate the back end of it. So even though on the first, second hit, you're just assuring that the more blunt you smoke, the more unburnt weed, the more decarboxylated it is. So the only hit of THCA that you get is when you spark it. So
Well, there was a study, and I'm I'm looking for it out. I'm looking for it now. But it was basically efficacy of different methods of smoking and the delivery of THC. And joints were actually rated lower because, as far as like THC delivery compared to like a pipe or a bong, because of that heat and yeah, the chemical reaction inside of it through that heat. So like in terms of getting the most THC from your smoke, joints is one of the least effective ways to do it. To kind of speak to, I think that's kind of what you're talking about. And I'm looking right now in the background of on a study. So hopefully back that up for you, Cascadian grown.
There's a couple studies. I just didn't want to go that deep, but I just wanted to stimulate conversation. The other interesting part that I found was when you get to the end of the joint, you get a buildup of, because you have burned 2/3 of the joint per se. Those tars and resins don't necessarily burn out. They don't evaporate. They don't disappear. A large portion of them are going to be pulled down the joint, which is why the end of your joint always gets tarry and resinous, and because you're actually pulling them down the joint as you're smoking. And then as you get farther down the joint, those tars and resins will start to catch the aromatic compounds, which is why the flavor of the joint changes as it goes down the joint. It starts off really much like the flower. You get to the middle of the joint and you're like, this is kind of some tasty, but it's getting...
You're getting the resin kind of taste. Yep.
Yeah, and I just found it fascinating that the science of it was, it's that the resins and the oils are catching those terpenes or the broken components thereof and not even letting them get to you anymore.
Wow.
So here's a question.
Never really thought of it that way.
And at the same time, yeah, you're also getting to the point where you're getting, you're close to burning your damn fingers. So any sort of THCA to THC is probably already been converted.
Yeah.
So what are you really doing smoking the end of the joint?
What do you think about the people, like I've experienced this and I've heard other people tell stories, when they're smoking a joint, it really catches them by when they find strains or different varieties that they taste the whole essence of the flower through the very end of the joint. And I've definitely had that. I've had that with
So
BC's Golden Skunk. I've had that with Jelly Bean. Do you think
So
that's actually like something that you can, that's a real actual trait that you can identify based on?
I would guess that trait is a lack or a lessening of the oils and resins. You're not creating that gooey filter to catch the flavor, so you're going to get the flavor the whole way through, because if you look at the joint, it's probably not a tarry either.
You think that would be a successful method though? Like, a lot of people test their varieties multitude different ways, but if you sat through and you went through a pheno hunt, you got to crack 30-40 seeds of one genotype. You went through every seed and you went through every phenotype, and you like to smoke them through joints, and you figure out what's that most flavorful joint through the very end. That's like an aspect you could breed towards.
Yeah,
because you're selecting for a lesser amount of oils and resins. I mean, that's what you're selecting for when you do that.
I don't know if it's just like a lesser amount though, because it's a lower volatility, and a lot of that I think is the sesquiterpenes and terpene alcohols that you taste. And it's the difference between a lot of people chase skunk and gas and a lot of stuff where as soon as you crack the jar and you're 10 feet away from people, or you got a bag on you, and immediately people can tell that you got some good ass weed on you. Those are all monoterpenes, and those are off gassing and standing 15, 25, feet away from the source that it's emanating from. Whereas the sesquiterpenes and terpene alcohols, they're not as volatile, and the distance from the bud that it comes from is less. So you either got to crack a nug open or actually like hit it, volatilize it with heat and taste it. It's the weed that you got a different fragrance than the smells, and then you hit it, either vaporize it, dab it, smoke it, and it's got a different flavor on the palate than it actually smells. Those are sesquiterpenes. And to me, those are the ones that are lasting in a joint, because the other way around, in a lot of cases, I could, pick on any different strain, but ChemDog 91 has a really great aroma, but that aroma that you smell with your nose is really hard to chase on the palate. Like the second you incinerate it, burn it, vaporize it, it's gone.
Right.
It
So
smells
the
good.
ester. It's not a terpene. It doesn't come through.
Right. So I think that's a little bit of what's going on there. And I think that's definitely a thing you can breed for.
I mean, the sesquiterpenes are still, by the time the ember gets to the flower that sesquiterpene is attached to, it's still going to break before it actually catches fire.
But everything's relative though. So in comparison to those dominant monoterpene strains, compared to something like, I don't know, lavender, not just
Orange,
lavender
right.
the flower, but lavender the strain.
Anything orange, yeah.
Yeah.
Pick a citrus. Those are all monoterps.
And this is a preference-wise thing, but citrus I get tired of the fastest. I don't know if that is something, but I do like it as a palate cleanser. So like, say if I'm oversaturated with OGs or something, to more appreciate that OG terpene profile, I like to mix it up with citrus, tangies or lemon skunks or super lemon haze or something like that. Because when you go to that, it sort of cleanses your palate, and the next time you come back to OGs, it makes it more, I don't know, robust.
Do you guys ever get terpenes that have that kind of waxy smell to them, or like in the air after you exhale, you kind of smell that waxiness? Is that the lipids or the actual wax, or what is that? Does anybody know?
Yeah.
Or has anybody else experienced it at least?
Well, anytime I'm not just blown away with the fragrance of cannabis, I would dedicate it. I hate to be like in one of those camps, but something is residually behind in the plant. Either it didn't get fleshed out, or it was given to the plant and just stuck there. The plant burn, it shouldn't give anything unpleasant smelling. If it is unpleasant, it's only based on preference. If it's something that's associated with something like you're saying, like it smells like some burnt plastic or like a
no, it's just like
candle wax,
like just like waxy lipids. Like if you've ever you've made concentrates, you've made wash.
Well, that's what I would say is then there's not an overbearing amount of oils, because if there was a lot of essential oils, it would be overbearing, and you wouldn't pick up that just pure waxy lipid profile. That's what I would say.
I wish I could describe it better. There was one strain. One strain in particular, it was the Jack's Cleaner 2 from TGA. It had a super lemony profile, very like lemon cleaner profile. It was so like acidic, the terpenes, the rubber seal around the top of the ball jars, the terpenes would eat that rubber seal in the top of the jar. But every time you smoke that and like you exhale, there's like a kind of just like waxy, for lack of a better term, just kind of like smell in the air. It smelled great. It had a little lemon to it, but
if it wasn't cannabis and you smelled that, what would it smell like? What's the closest other thing in the world that smells like that?
That's a great question. Maybe like bacon grease or something,
or like car polish, or like I'm car just guessing, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great question and hard for me to answer.
Oh, for sure. That's why I asked it.
Yeah. Can I ask, was this through, like I said, combustion?
Combustion.
Well, then there's my answer right there. You're combusting it, so you're gonna smell a whole bunch of weird, funky shit.
Okay.
I hate
This
to be a
is-
smart ass or sound like someone that's just gonna write it off as something as simple as that, but
It could be. I don't have the answer.
Is it like a crayon?
Yeah, sometimes it is that simple.
Worthy Buzz said in chat, is it like a crayon? That's you know,
Yes, actually, that's a really good freaking explanation. Yes, because crayons have that distinct kind of waxy smell to it. But yes,
And they
thank you.
never
Worthy.
I was
taste.
thinking those little cheeses that are wrapped in that plastic. That
The
smell.
yeah, no, it
The
wasn't. It
little
wasn't
baby
like an-
bells or
yeah, the little cow ones. I love
yeah, the little cow ones. That plastic.
well,
Yeah.
Chad, what it would tell me that I don't know if you could do it with any, through whatever imagination process. If this was a time in the past where you got the same strain running now, what based on what you said, then if I were to extract that and then try to de-wax it with secondary solvent, like if I were to hydrocarbon extract and then try to de-wax it with ethanol, my guess is that particular phenol you had, that would hold out a lot of wax. And I don't know what strain to use in comparison, because it's super susceptible to how you grow the plant, and it's not even the same in every grow. You can have the same exact grow, same exact nutrients, same exact dirt, and then succeeding grows after another are all going to be different. But I would guess something about that would that Jack's cleaner in its extract would have higher amount of waxes. And then I don't know if another thing that could back that up is if you did macro photography on there and actually got really good images of the trichomes themselves
Right.
and the ratio between the stalk of the trichome and the size of the head. I would think, I don't know if you remember, were they those like really long, fuzzy looking trichomes that have long stalks but small heads?
Honestly, I couldn't pick them out in a lineup.
Okay, so like those ones, the trichomes that definitely have a difference in the ratio between the size of the head of the trichome and the stalk. If it's mostly all stalk and small trichome head, then extracting that with chemical solvents is going to make a really waxy thing. I mean, you'll be able to pull it out, obviously, if you're purposely trying to de-wax it.
Yep.
But in comparison, if you had like 4 different varieties and you were de-waxing all of them at the same time, it would probably look like, or it would be the highest wax yielding.
That would make sense. That's probably the answer. That would make sense to me.
I'm not so sure if it's the length of the stalk. Maybe it's the thickness.
No, it's the ratio of everything combined. It's
I
the
heard you.
thickness of the shell, the length of
Right.
the stalk of the trichome, the
I wonder
material
if
that
it's
it's made
more
out of.
a ratio of the thickness of the head of the like the thickness of the cell walls of the head of the trichome and the interior essential oil.
If you have two, like if you have imagine like 3 basketballs that were like engulfing one another compared to just one plain basketball. You know what I mean? You had like a 3-skinned basketball. That basketball is gonna have a whole shit ton of more waxes than the
Right.
thin layer. Yeah.
From what I remember, I was reading a white paper a while ago. I might be quoting it incorrectly, but I want to say that the ones, when it comes to the stalk length, the longer stalks, trichomes, had higher ratios of monoterpenes to sesquiterpenes. They were more likely to be the fruity citrus sort of characteristics than they were to be any of the other profiles we like, because the head doesn't have, I don't remember why, but it was basically that there's not enough room in the head for the sesquiterpenes and there's more room for an ample amount of the monoterpenes.
Interesting.
Well,
And
it does fit that flavor profile. It does fit that.
I'm
What you're
glad
describing.
someone got that far into kind of discovering that kind of thing, because that just makes me more want to reinforce. Like I said, I'm going to use macro photography, obvious signs of dry sifting if plants tend to yield more, but a lot of that I'm trying to correlate with the shape,
The
size.
reason I remember that paper is because I found it fascinating that they somehow managed to cut a trichome in half. And I was
Interesting.
trying to figure out how the hell they did that part of it.
They can measure the actual
Holy fuck! How do you do
diameter or
that?
whatever thickness of that
Yeah,
trichome. So
they cut the trichome in half and looked
You
at
have
it.
to have like a microscope first of
It was
all.
I don't remember how they did that
Lasers.
part, but
you,
that's
you
why
got to
the
have
white
yeah
paper
at least
got
like
me.
50 times magnification. For sure.
Yeah, they did something to stabilize the trichomes. I don't remember. I'll have to find the white paper. And then they cut them in half, and then they measured them, and they measured the stalk distance and the heads and the ratio, and then the like internals of the head, and correlated all of that data based on stalk length, trichome type, and constituents. It was fascinating, but my mind-bending, brain-blowing part was how the do you cut a trichome in half?
Yeah, no shit. I'm still trying to figure out.
Yeah,
Do you use a knife?
That's some
First thing that comes
some
to
scientific work right
me
there,
is
man.
those Keebler elves. Like there's little
Yeah.
Keebler elves that live inside the trichome.
Can I just read something about sesquiterpenes a minute? I just kind of looked this up, but it's
Ant-Man.
just the definition is sesquiterpenes are C15 terpenoids, so they have 15 carbons in them. It's red pill, but built from 3 isoprene units. They are found particularly in higher plants and in many other living systems, such as marine and organisms and fungi. Naturally, they occur as hydrocarbons or in oxygenated forms, including lactones, alcohols, acids, aldehydes, and ketones. So like all those fit under sesquiterpene, you know what I mean? So like
It
just
starts
found
with
that interesting, you know what I mean? We talk about that
the oxygen bond.
Yeah, but
Starts
all
with the oxygen bond. Everything else from there is an evolution. You have monoterpenes, and then they're one less isoprene unit, and then you have sesquiterpenes, and all the other constituents of essential oil evolve from there. Those are your aldehydes, the ketones, and the esters.
Blows my mind that we can put that much research and development into splicing a trichome in half, but we still can't like prescribe it to people.
Yeah, no shit.
Right.
Where was that? Just out of curiosity, Cascadian, where was that done at? Do you know where in the world that actually was done?
If you've been following me, you'll realize I've recently posted about 500 white papers on cannabis. So I'm gonna have to go through and find it, bro. I don't.
Yeah, I've noticed you've been
know.
posting.
I don't want you to do any extra work than you're doing. I was just asking out, just please don't do
Johnny,
any
you got
extra for
homework,
me.
man. Johnny, you got homework to do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking if that was done, I'll bet anyway, any place in my mind that I think of that do that kind of shit would be in Israel.
Israel and Spain really lead the way as far as research goes.
That's why I was
Crazy.
asking,
That's
because
crazy. I didn't know that.
Israel is one of, I think they're kind of like in the lead right now as far as cannabis.
Like
peace out, moving.
Actually, science of doing the experiments on stuff.
for like human trials, yeah, I've seen the majority of like human clinical trials I've seen have been from there. There's a lot of other countries like Portugal and whatnot that have massive farms, and they're doing more of the genomic work versus like, well, I guess it is medical work in the long run, but I think they're just working on the genetic side or genomic side.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So where was the other place? You said Brazil was doing it?
Spain.
Spain
And
Okay.
Spain does a lot of studies, but I also just mentioned Portugal. They legalized it many years ago. It's not really legal for the public, but there's mega freaking basically all the companies that want to do stuff and this testing and mapping in the United States, since they can't, they're doing it there.
Gotcha. That makes sense. You go where you can do what you can, you know.
Yeah.
That just makes sense. I like that kind of that splitting of the trichome, man. That's some serious shit right there, man. I mean,
What, do you use a piece of hair?
I don't know. I think a
that's
hair
the
would be
only
too
thing,
big.
like, you know, a piece of floss.
I don't know. I mean, have you
crystal.
guys ever seen those little piece
Crystals.
of rice where the guy carves like this intricate
Yeah.
like village in it, like a whole
Yeah, I've
village
seen
in a piece
that.
of rice? So I mean, if this dude could do that without all this fancy equipment, I think we should probably have some sort of an idea.
We all know
I'm
that
not
guy
that
was an
smart,
alien.
so I don't know.
Yeah, that guy was an alien. Everybody knows that.
It was Kazoo.
Yeah. No, I've seen that video where he just like, I don't even know what he uses, like these tiny little
These glass
lens?
lenses, man. That
I
just
don't know.
Yeah, it'd have to be some intricate work.
Like needles.
Mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'd be a tool that'd be hard to sharpen, right?
yeah.
Hey guys, it's 4:44. I'm gonna be jumping out. I gotta get to bed.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Already almost that time, but it was good hanging out with everybody for sure.
Cascadian, that was some great stuff.
Good meeting you, Smiley.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Good to see you, Stoney.
Good morning, Green 13.
Right at Green 13's in. The younger version, Green 13.
Yeah,
he does seem to be getting younger, doesn't he?
I know.
Damn, Tower SB.
What happened to that old man with the beard?
Oh my God, I
What's
only
up?
came in halfway through you all chatting. I'm sure there was a lot of compliments there.
There was.
Cheers, brother.
I looked
What's up?
at myself in the mirror yesterday, cheers, brother, and I thought, I can't wait for that shit to grow back. I was pretty now I'm sitting here with you, man, with proper beards, and I feel like, yeah, oh, apparently no.
Yeah, I know. Working real hard on it.
You can do this though. You can just wrap it up, call it good.
There you go.
Yeah.
My hair will do that. I didn't have faith in my hair.
All right.
My favorite one's this one though.
It's your mask.
Let me try one.
Here's my hair.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh well, I can't participate in this one. Sorry.
No, it's only for the real men.
My woman gets mad when I do this, and then I bite it.
Oh God, dude, that looks hilarious, man.
He'll come up to me and just it right out of my face. Just like, don't do
What
that.
are you doing?
So Saturday morning, dudes. Happy Saturday morning.
Yeah,
Fast
good
forward to
morning.
me.
How have you been? How's life?
I was fully chilling with my wife, and I was like, oh shit, the whole world's on Eagle, babe. I gotta go on Eagle.
It is a Brady Bunch tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. That's
Love it. Hell yeah.
Hey, Chad, I'm sorry, Johnny. I had skate questions, Chad.
Yes.
What era would you say that you came in out of? Sorry.
Ooh, so God, it was the 80s. So we weren't like, it wasn't like Dogtown, but it was, I don't know if it really has a name. Because I want to say old school right now, but old school is so subjective to whenever you started.
Yeah.
So
What's Dogtown? Dogtown's a skateboard company. What are you talking about?
Yep. Yeah. Well, he was trying to ask me to define like the era that I was skateboarding in, and it's like I still.
Oh, it was a
skateboard.
skateboarding question.
I wanted it to lead into. Do you know someone the name of Jeremy DeGlopper?
I don't.
Okay.
Was
Well,
he?
yeah, he skated in the 80s. He's married to my cousin.
Oh, that's
I was
cool.
Oh
hoping-
no shit.
I was hoping you were gonna be like, yeah, that's my old, homie. I was like, oh shit. I was
Well,
gonna
what
make
year-
it a small world ass thing. Mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
What year was the Dogtown though? Weren't they like late 70s
Yeah.
or mid
Yeah, like late 70s.
into the 80s though? I mean, it wasn't like, didn't they kind of like mid 80s? They kind of felt. I wasn't a big skateboarder. I didn't skateboard at all, but I just kind of knew about them.
Yeah, and they were like older dudes at the time. They were like in their late teens, 20s and stuff. So, by the time like I was paying attention, they were in their 30s, and it was different, like just getting into it in the 80s. Basically, usually your first introduction was like Tony Hawk and the Bones Brigade, and that was like a group of like 5 or 6 skaters that kind of everybody knew. They were the dream team basically.
Right.
They were the ones that had the video, so that was the only way to get your input or your pro is to watch these videos. And yeah, so Bones Brigade era, I guess that's the answer. The Bones Brigade era.
There you go.
See, I want to say it's almost the same era, because my cousin, I think my cousin's husband, he came out of that same sort of era where he was basically overshadowed by people like Tony Hawk. So.
But it wasn't an overshadow thing. That wasn't how it worked. I skated with those boys, all of those guys, Lance Mountain, Tony Hawk, all them, man. So yeah, I'll get some pictures out the loft, but I keep promising loft stuff.
Oh God, we're gonna have a skate church episode.
I have all the 80s boards. Yeah, I have them all in my shed. I do. I've got the Steve Caballero, the Tommy Guerrero, the Tony Hawk, the Mike McGill, the Per Waylander. I've got
You would.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see my one comment? I forget, it was one of the last home grow shows. I think I said that you're an unlockable character in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 7. I just threw out a number out there of fictional Tony Hawk's game, but in my mind, I just imagine you beat the game with someone and your unlockable character is Chad Westport.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be rad.
But those dudes were one style. There was also really a Santa Cruz thing at the same time that was a heavy metal thrash type, long grinds, massive airs. It wasn't all about lip tricks and flips, and it was about riding,
Yeah.
So it
that's what I like. That very first real street scene when they came out of the pools.
So would that be like freestyle or something like that? No.
I could send you guys like skate. I just really liked when people used to make their own skate, team or whatever films, wide angle and all that shit. They'd have one person following them doing all the tricks and shit like that, and then it'd be like an interlude of them doing lines of tricks with music, and then it would cut to party scenes, explicit of drugs being taken and whatnot.
Of course.
That never happened.
That was the 90s.
Guys aren't like that, man.
Yeah.
Don't be besmirching people. They're clean living chaps. Come on.
Yeah.
Not these guys. These guys were smoking hella blunts and doing hella ecstasy fucking pills.
That sounds like the late 90s skaters when it became you're either Hesh or Fresh. So the Hesh
so
listened
weird,
to the
but
metal.
quite cool.
Yeah, Hesh listened to metal. The Fresh. Oh, there we go, right there. Booyah. Bones Pal Peralta.
That's pretty weird that I'm wearing that t-shirt.
That's a lot of where my very first origin
Got that one for you.
WeedTube came from. One of the very first WeedTubers I followed, It's Fern was the channel, and he was out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Same thing. He would follow his buddies around and do all the skate videos, and they'd upload them to YouTube, and same thing. But it would be like Bone Thugs and Harmony, be the skate video, but mixed with fucking blunt smoking videos and that kind of thing.
Cool.
Sorry,
Well,
Eagle.
I gotta bounce, guys. I'm sorry, but thank you for hanging out tonight, guys, and thanks for the conversation. All about poop
Thank
and
you,
butt
Ted
tattoos.
Westport.
Thank you, Eagle.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna book too. I'm done. I can't keep doing this shit 2 nights, 3 nights in a row. I'm not the Eagle.
Oh,
man.
come on.
I could take them. All right, I'll stick around for
Being
a
psycho,
little.
buddy.
We gotta start talking about butts or something though, or other body parts.
Love Chad, man.
Take care, Chad.
Yeah. Night,
Yeah.
Chad.
Peace out.
So Cascadian, back on that smoking of the joints and how it burns and all that stuff. When I was younger, I didn't enjoy smoking the weed. I felt like I wasn't getting that great hit every time. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get that nice flavorful hit every time. So that's one of the things that drew me away from smoking joints, as well as smelling like resin. You know, I didn't
Right.
care for that much. So at that point, I went right to a bong and a single hit. And it seemed like every hit that I got was considerably better. You know, it was than a secondary hit off of a joint. It always just seemed that way to me. I don't know why, but that was my thoughts behind it. As far as that's one of the reasons why I don't smoke a lot of joints, because of that. I like that consistent fresh hit, you know, of the terpenes burn, whatnot.
I'm the exact same way, and I think I even said it last night. I don't know what it is, if it's the papers or I've actually did those King Palms. Those were actually not too bad, but my throat starts getting really cash fast, you know. And I just don't. I don't know. Sometimes I get really high on a joint, but most of the time it seems like I just don't. Like I gotta smoke more.
I'm the opposite, boys, directly. I mean, and that's the spice of life.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, and certain weed is joint weed because it has to have terpenes that last till the end. However, I'm not actually looking for that hit that you're describing. I'm looking for the opposite thing. In fact, I'm looking for a smooth ride, and I'm looking. For me, it's a medical thing. I'm not looking to go up and down and up and down. And this is a recent understanding of myself, to be honest. But I'm a joint smoker, and I was a cigarette smoker. And it's that participation that's always going on. You know, I could pick it up any time. It's not like I have to pack it or anything, you know.
Right.
So yeah, it's queer. That's queer. And yeah,
so,
you're looking for that boost. And I know what that feeling is. I've bonged for years, but
well, no, it's not necessarily the boost that I'm going for. It's the flavor.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys, so you two are chasing different things here. So
yeah.
I've made this correlation in a few lives I've done on my IG lately. There's smoking for the effect, and then there's smoking for the ritual of it. Green 13 mentions he smoked cigarettes for a long time. Wow, I put the long time in there myself. That's just, I don't know
30
short
years.
smokers. Yeah. So a lot of times it's the same way with coffee. I'll talk about this in terms of coffee. When people, they get used, so I do it with my bong. I have a whole ritual. I have to break the weed up. I have to load the bong. I have to smoke the bong. I have to then sit and enjoy it. And if anybody fucks with any part of that process, I start over. I don't care what we don't. If we're going to a dinner date, you gotta wait. If we're going to a ball game, you gotta wait.
Yep.
You fucked up my
That's right.
process. You ruined my ritual. I gotta start over, or you're not gonna want to be with me where we're supposed to go.
How do you get away with that? People hate me when they act like that.
How
It's
do
the
I get
beard.
away with that? I'm an asshole, bro. I'm an asshole. That's
Well,
how I get away with it.
people literally. I was
Yep.
literally gonna say people hate me when I'm like that. If
Um,
I'm like that way with my family, I put myself in Colorado when I had to go out there and people come visit me for my birthday and they'd rent a whatever R&B, BRBB, whatever the fucking place, and I'd go in there and try to bring my dad. They're like, "We're gonna get caught. We can't smoke in here." They said no smoking. I don't give a fuck. I had to move out here because of this shit.
Dudes, don't shame yourselves. It's not
So-
about calling yourself a name. One sec, I'll let you jump back in. But man, don't, you're a human with boundaries. It's not that you're an asshole. It's that you have a ritual. It's not for someone else to disturb that. And there's no problem. It's not a problem. Yeah, you're not
I
an asshole.
totally understand that, Cascadian. I'm with you on the ritual.
So in terms of drinking coffee,
Agreed.
you have the ritual of like holding the cup and nursing the cup, but you also have the addiction of the caffeine. And from an herbal perspective, to get somebody off of the caffeine, you have to take away the caffeine but not take away the ritual. You have to separate the two. So you have to substitute the coffee for something like roasted dandelion root that still gives you coffee flavor, still gives you the essence of your ritual, still lets you go through your ritual, and you're weaning yourself off the caffeine, but you're not pissed off completely because you still have your ritual. Once you have weaned off the caffeine, then you can conquer the ritual. That's what I felt. You two were talking. One of you's talking the caffeine, the other one's talking the ritual. If Green 13 spent 13 years smoking cigarettes and now he's got to smoke a joint, it's because he likes the ritual of this part.
Yeah.
And Johnny's like, I want the flavor, give me the effect. I have a different ritual because I don't have this 13-year-old ritual of putting this thing to my face and taking the time to chill with it and sit with it.
That's
and
my
it be there
ritual
for
right
me.
there. Yeah.
It's a different
Yeah.
ritual.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
totally. I
highlight
understand what you're saying.
before you guys like thought you were agreeing to disagree or whatever. Like I just
Oh,
wanted
no,
to point
no,
out-
not even.
Yeah. I
Not
just wanted
even.
to show how it could be different. and you-
Don't think that I would pass a joint up if it's handy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I just appreciate
Yeah.
smoking out of that better. I feel like it takes me less weed for me to get the
The medicated that you want.
where you're going for.
medicated need. Yeah, the
Yeah.
medicated need that I have.
And
Because when
I've said all
I'm
that
having yeah,
to say
full
that
on. I agree with you. Right.
when I was younger, before I was growing, before I just had weed at my disposal, before I just knew where to go get weed, I have a couple of lifelong buddies and they have an aunt and an uncle, and we used to go over and smoke with them. And what they would do is they would take their bong and they would load just the littlest freaking piece of weed in that thing, and they'd hand you the lighter and they'd say, hit this. And all it did was piss me off, bro. Like it was fresh, it was clean, it was amazing.
Right.
But I couldn't get nowhere, man. So like it's just there's a sweet spot in there for me, and it was rough, dude. It was rough.
So that's where you got your ritual from.
Right. That's why
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
So don't fuck with me when I'm doing my shit. Right, I got you. Don't fucking give me no little piece of shit in my fucking hit. The hell are you doing?
Yeah, I would they would pass it to me, I would take it out and I would give it back. And everybody else would get their little hit and it would come back around to me and I would take it out and I would pass it back. And by the third or fourth time it got to me, I'd take all 3 or 4 of them, stuff it in that motherfucker, and just torch that shit, and then pass it back. And they'd be like, I'm like, yeah, can you at least like give me
Put a little more in there?
Something?
Like I can get more grass clippings out of my shoe than you put in this bong for me to smoke. Yeah. So yeah, it was just interesting, the ritual part, because it's what is pleasing to somebody else is irritating to somebody else. And it's because we're all wired differently on the ritual level, but we're all chasing that same effect no matter what.
Yeah.
Right. And here's another reason why I think I went with the bong was because I lived in a house that I could not smoke it. So
And
I
this
had
is really a thing. This is really a thing because you could blow it out a window and it's all over quick. And
so I was able to take my hit, walk over to the window, blow it out, close it, and no one was the wiser. As long as I kept my bong clean, it didn't break. So that was one of the other reasons why hitting the bong ended up becoming my way of doing it. And throughout my life, I've been very a closet smoker, more or less. Nobody ever knew. I mean, a matter of fact, now there's a lot of people in my life. They don't know I smoke weed. They don't need to know I smoke weed. That's the thing. And if I don't divulge that, they'll never be the wiser. So that's just the way I like to keep it on stuff. For certain people, some people don't understand it, and that's their problem, not mine. And if I don't want to deal with their problem, I don't let them know. So
yeah.
Absolutely.
And
anyways, all right, guys, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta bounce, guys. I got lights going off and fans turning on. I got humidity issues still going on over here, so sucks. But anyways,
all right then, Rockafeller.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you, brother. Peace.
Nice to meet you
for hanging out.
I'll be back. Believe me, I love this shit. This is great. This place is great.
Good
Thanks
stuff.
a lot, everyone. Take care.
Have a good night.
Good night, Stoney.
Two.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Take care. You go. If I can do this.
Yeah. And I think I will do the same thing. I'm going to hop out because I got to get up in the morning, get some stuff done. Eagle, always a good time. Peace and love always.
Thanks, Johnny.
Yes.
Green 13, it was awesome seeing you in here talking about the skateboard and stuff. Redpill, cheecha, cascadian. I want to talk more about that. I want to find out more about your research.
Yeah.
We got
That's
to know
very
more about your
interesting.
ritual, man. We got to get more high together.
Yeah. But I enjoyed that. That was good information. I mean, I love that kind of stuff. So thanks for divulging it to us and doing the research. Because that's the hard part, that's what a lot of people don't want to do. I'm a little lazy in that area. Right, Cheecha? Aren't we lazy in that area?
Yeah, a little
We're
bit.
lazy. I got to do some more stuff. Okay, guys. I will talk to you later. Love everybody.
Cheers,
Peace and
Johnny.
love.
Have a good night.
Good seeing you, Johnny.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I think that's always good to when you feel like you're not getting the buzz that you want to either try to something that you did when you're young, when you used to be in those positions, do a knife hit, do a gravity bong, do something like that.
Yeah.
Or if you do have all
Vape
those,
some flour, or just switch it up, a different ingestion method.
Fucking doing a gravity bong in the kitchen sink.
You mean the bathtub, right?
Or the bathtub. Or that.
Or a bucket.
We used to hotbox the bathroom with the lights off and the fan off and gravity.
Did you ever
bong
turn the
tub.
shower on and let like
Yep.
a hot shower? Yep.
Yep.
Especially in the summertime. Yeah, in the summertime, and then you walk out, you're just like, holy.
Your fucking
fuck.
knees buckle. Yeah. People are
Oh
laid out in the
my
hallway
God,
because they didn't make it
cheecha.
very far.
You know, it's funny you said with the lights off because I did that one time when me and my buddies were smoking a joint, or a blunt actually, and I don't know how many times it went around. We were halfway through it, and then another party to the little smoking crew got to my garage a little bit late, and I don't know what it was, but I encouraged everyone like, hey, for added effect, let's smoke this blunt in the dark. And it really worked. We were literally like tripping and like just being goofy as shit. And my buddy that was like 5 minutes late to get in on this blunt, you see the silhouette of him opening the garage
Oh
door,
man.
and his words out of his mouth was, "What the fuck?" Like, why are you guys just sitting in the dark? And like, to him, we had to explain it. Like, come on, man, for added effect, we're like, let's smoke the blunt in the dark. I'm trying to get more high, man. He's like, you guys are fucked up.
I'm pretty
Just
sure
turn
that
the
would have all
lights
been my
on.
response as well. That's funny. So how long till harvest, Cheech?
I'm cutting her down on the 14th.
Okay.
She should be done
Oh,
pretty
a bit
much.
longer. Another week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Call that the home stretch.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was like, I think she's done. I think she's ready. And then like a couple of days later, she just started growing more. I'm like, okay. So I just decided to wait a couple more weeks. And it'll be 2 weeks from that day on the 14th. So, yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Smart move.
I can't wait. Huh?
Smart move, not just cutting it down the first intuition, because that's how a lot of people do, and they miss that.
Incredibly grown up, isn't it? Incredibly grown up.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Wish I could do that shit. No.
Well, the thing is like, I said it, and then like, of course, a couple of days later, it was like, no, you're not, because I'm gonna decide to grow. Look at me now. I'm like, okay, fine.
I'm a 60-day guy, and I've gone 75 days, 76 days the last 2 times, and honestly, I'll do it again if it needs it, because like, I do mean it. I do think you're being very grown up. It's just taken me a very long time to be grown up.
No, believe me, I'm like, really? Can I just take a little bud off? But I'm like, no, I don't want to fuck with it. Don't want to fuck with it.
Because then you'll slow it down, and
yeah, I'll slow it down, and I'm ready.
Nah, you don't need it. It needs to finish. It's great.
I know.
Yeah, you got the 2-week dry and the 3-week cure anyway. So.
No. Like,
yeah, I mean, don't worry. There is a bit there where you can pick up. There, you can have a little. I'll put that.
Yeah,
aside,
once she's
this
cut
can
down
go in the jar.
and kind of, dried out a little bit. I mean, I did a little rub the stem, and she smelled like citrusy fruit with a little graham cracker. Yeah, that's what I got off of it.
So, just out of curiosity, by the time I'm done watering tonight, and this is pretty average, that's a 60-gallon water right there. All in all, that's 20 gallons. That's my third tote right there of water. Pretty fucking average. That's a lot of water per water. Every other day?
That's a lot of water. Yeah, that's a real lot of water.
That is a lot of water.
Every other day? Holy.
I know.
That's full hydro, man.
Yeah.
Go.
I would feel like that's like hydro.
Yeah, did your organic soil die, or what happened?
Yeah.
No, I'm still in the works. We're in the transfer. There's actually more soil-ish medium in the garden right now than I'd say in about 10, 12 years, to be honest with you. I seen in chat they were talking about ancient soil grown was asking about the 5x5s, you know, the bed or the pods. Back then, I suggested, you know, in my opinion, beds. I just can't get to figure out the right system for the bed in a 4x4, especially. I've got that want to fuck with things, spin them plants while I'm working with them, have them all set in one place, not being able to move, kill me.
You
It's
find
a bastard. It's a bastard. It's the only real bastard bit.
so to get away from playing with the plant, you got to be able to walk around at least 3/4 of the tent, which is
Right.
not something I can do. But that's how you fix
No,
the
mate.
problem.
It is, but
I can't. You see how my setup is. I can't go walk free around.
I have one side that I can get to, so I'm always playing the 4-foot reach game.
That's why everything's on casters over here, brother. I can reach in and spin them plants, even the back ones, with one hand and be able to work that, you know, whatever I can reach, spin, whatever I can reach, spin. You know, it's kind of nice. But then I seen him and Smiley referring back to the weight, you know, soil. That's a lot of weight. Sounded like he was in possibly, you know, upstairs, older house, possibly, you know, with a weak up floor, or even an attic space like I had started in a long time ago. You know, garage with the 12-12 pits, nice A-frame to work with from front to center. And I actually started in soil up there, and it fucker was 40 feet long. I had, you know, in the end, I had a fucking my first flower area was fucking 30 feet by 8 feet, all a straight line. I would pull them out into that other
like that.
room and water and then push them back. Everything, it was a solid. I've got pictures to this day of all of it. It's beautiful. It worked perfectly. I actually, you know, all right, this is how the system worked. It worked, you know, for it being high up in the attic and taking full sun all day. I had, all right,
He's proud of it. Can you
He's
tell?
getting all excited.
I'm
about
fucking proud. I am proud of this
Seriously.
shit.
Whenever you think of
Seriously.
attic space,
He is
it's
like,
like,
So
oh my gosh, guys.
you got the A-frame like this, all right? Let me find my camera. And my lights were like pulled tight to here. I couldn't get my lights any higher. They were fucking right tight to the A-frame. And then everything ran right just like they do right now, on the line. And then out that fucking gable. They went right out that gable. That hot air went fucking straight out the gable. And then I had 8-inch solid ducting that ran along the bottom edge right here and down around in a U with heating registers like pointing up at the bottom of the canopy every 8 feet. So it was blowing in cool air, shaking that bottom constantly. And then I had fans up here blowing on the canopy as well. That fucking shit was always shaking, always at a nice 85, which is still kind of hot for a summer day, but not too bad for attic space.
Yeah, and
It was
for
pulling
attic space, yeah.
It pulled air out of from underneath. So all my cool air was coming from the area down below that was, you know, probably 65, 70. It was all fucking pretty cool down in that space. But man, that room perfectly. And then it ended up being another room back over on the other side, then down, and it worked through and through. But man, that fucking system worked for a fucking long time. But soil had to be exit that system immediately. You know, as the fucking it grew, I shit you not. It started on that end and worked its way back to the hole in the, you know what I mean? The attic access was at the other end. The girl actually fucking went all the way back at one point. And fucking, oh man. But weight became an issue because it was an attic space, man. You get fucking these air pots. I don't know. I don't have one handy. I mean, they're the 3/5s of these air pots that you see right there. And you start filling them up with fucking soil, four, you know, all the way down.
Oh yeah.
That shit started getting heavy. I started seeing that sag and that little bit of sag in them trusses. I was like, man, soil is no longer my friend. And that's when I started trying out the Pro Mix. And I ended up in a fucking cocoa because I'm shit you not. It became a fucking weight thing. When I say weight, everybody's like, yeah, it was more weight, you know, like I was more weight flour. I'm like, no, it was less weight. You know, I ended up I built a fucking, before it was all said and done, I built a 12-inch beam from end to end, dead center under that grow. So it supported all that fucking weight of the grow above. I've still got pictures. I can probably pull up some on this computer or some. It would take me a minute. But for real, that was the first grow setup. And then it ended up in tents down beneath, all the same shit like this. It was a nice system. I miss that. I miss that grow, that area to this day.
That shape,
love it.
That footprint, that shape, and is how I want to go in the future, and like how Medicropper's rooms are, just long rectangular rooms with two sides of plants and one aisle to walk down straight through the middle. That's what I want to make.
Soil we use now as well is so heavy with pumice stone and all the amendments, and like, damn, I know when I'm lifting that stuff around, it's like crazy. So in a loft space, that would be, you start filling that with 60 gallons of water.
I want to see somebody rock a flower room. If I don't see it, I might try it in the future, but I want to see somebody do it with those new light tubes they have. They're reflective. They'll bring the sun in from into your house and it'll shine down through the ceiling. I want to see somebody do that.
I've seen one of those with the supplemental. They had LEDs for supplemental, but
with supplemental lighting. Yeah. It really cut down on the electricity. You're getting actual sunlight.
Oh, do like a skylight thing?
They're so you can have a window on the side of your house. It's connected to a tube. And it shines into the interior rooms. Yeah, it's like a skylight, but it's not just.
Yeah, I've seen people have them. It's so weird because you go to turn the light off and you're like, wait, it's still like.
It's if
it's a weird kind of
made a baby with one of those Egyptian mirror things where they got inside the pyramids.
Yeah,
and
bounces
coming. Yeah, it's like that.
I've always thought that would be interesting because it's natural sunlight, it's less electricity, but you still have the security of it being inside. People can't see it, smell it, find it, walk to it. You know,
right?
It's a best of both worlds kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it definitely would.
In that setup that I saw, it was really hard to actually.
One of those. Is that one Green 13? Is that what you're playing with? Yeah, it's a bathroom, isn't it? They have big ones and they get bright.
Yeah, you can get them small like that or like, you know.
So this was an average plant. Am I sharing this?
It says you're starting to share.
There it goes.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is like the air pots that I was running back then. An average pot. And everything went up and down that motherfucking ladder. See how that's the end of it. When I say the attic excess was at the end, I would bump that wall. As I'm going up, I would bump that wall. You know what I mean? There was one point when I had that leg surgery, I had to do it backwards. I would fucking take a step up, grab the thing, and I'm pulling up 5-gallon buckets of water with me.
Oh my goodness.
That was my first girl. So yeah, the average size at this point, obviously, I'm in the Pro Mix, as you can see. And, but all right, now let me see if I can find some more picture at least of like that tube. But that was like that was the undercarriage there. All right, now let me see what else.
That's ridiculous, though, Eagle. Carrying it up a ladder. Oh my god. Like the
surprised-
angle.
Oh, I'd be
Surprised
like
you-
some kind of pulley system.
I
Fuck
was gonna
this.
say, I'm surprised you
would've-
didn't have like some kind of scissor lift thing to just raise a platform up or something like that.
Y'all still ain't thinking smart enough. I would have got a damn water pump and pumped that thing 12 feet in the air to another tank up there and worried about it when I got up there, man. The whole
you
time.
know?
Well, actually, you seen that hose up there. I actually, at one point, eventually worked to running a hose up there saying, fuck that shit. So
I mean, but
here's
for
a fucking,
you know, for a hot second,
here's another one of
pulley.
the plants that would fucking come down from that section there. And that's the fucking beam I built underneath to support all that shit. I'm telling you, I'm not kidding, man. This is
No, I
is
believe
fucking real
you.
shit. And but that was, it handled pretty nice load. All right, let me see if I can find the upstairs.
Big machine there in the background. Fucking, you don't mess around, Eagle. We know that.
See, I know I've got some pictures of that shit. So, somewhere's on here. I seen some the other day.
Yeah, that's the bathroom with the light tube. It's obviously they're a lot better, the growing ones, but the builder put it in because that's an internal room. So he was like, actually, it was a rip-off. It was more money than I wanted to pay for it, but it's
Right.
neat.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool ideas.
They've gotten cheaper. Yeah, they used to be were a lot more expensive.
Yeah, so it's like a new cool thing.
Runboy did make a decent point, though. You'd have to either really get perfect with the timing, or you'd have to have some sort of a shutter on it for your to instigate the dark cycle. So.
Definitely a shutter. No problem
Right.
with that, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although also you could just run it into winter, but then you'd want to. Then you've lost control, haven't you? Really, it was one cycle a year.
Yeah, the tough part's really the summer when the sun's up for 16 hours a day. That's the rough one.
Come on,
Oh,
Eagle,
my
what you
mic
got?
is open. I couldn't.
I know
I'm
he's
still
he's
looking. I'm
searching for
going through,
something.
like 15,000 pictures here trying to find that upstairs. Be patient. Actually, my mic was off, so that's why I wasn't saying anything. Assume it's actually behind the screen, probably looking all retarded. So actually, just for funsies, as I'm looking through pictures here, you guys, I talked a little bit about that leg injury at one point. You want to see what led up? This is. Hold on.
I'm good.
Was,
I'm good as long as I don't see
yes.
any bone.
No bone. Close to. Fair warning, Cascadian. Close to. So this is where am I? We're gonna get back to this. All right. So share. This was the initial injury. Boom. That was. It ended up getting bigger and
Oh, I
bigger in
see.
time.
I'm gonna make some more coffee.
It ended up getting bigger and bigger in time. And then they had to cut that out. And this is what's under a lot of the tattoos. This is part of it actually. There's way.
Were they your first tattoos?
No, actually, this leg in particular, Green 13 was the last leg to get tattooed. Got such a history with this leg. I thought I was gonna fuck it. I gotta stop screen sharing. Appreciate you guys for watching me, man. I just exited that never fucking lie. I just exited the pictures.
How'd you get the old nick in the leg there? What were you doing?
That was a glass injury.
Oh.
just moving pieces of glass around the garage there, the workshop. And I went to grab, there was taller pieces and smaller pieces. And down below, and I grabbed the taller ones. I'm not even thinking about the smaller pieces down below. And they fell over and caught me mid-leg right there and opened me right up. That was the second time it had happened, to be honest with you. There's one on the side there that was just as bad. It looks like a fucking arrow fucking shot me in the leg. But I actually dumped liquid skin in that one. Whole bottle of liquid skin would piss the doctor off. And they see when I went back for that one,
Super glue
they
is
were
good
like,
as well.
when I went back for that one, they were like, so what the fuck's going on here? And I'm like, yeah, I don't really like doctors, so I just dumped a bunch of liquid skin in. And they looked at me like, you're a fucking idiot.
Whole bottle, yeah, whole bottle.
Yeah. True story, too.
All right, dudes, I'm getting out of here. Have a great day. Happy
That's
Saturday.
fun.
Wicked.
Nice to see you, man.
So way off track now. So what do you guys have anything fun planned for today?
It's my day off, so not a whole lot, man. I've been down and out again. I'm back on not smoking for the last week because I've got nerve and back problems again. So I'm just taking it easy,
Do you
man.
think there's a correlation?
I did it to myself. It was totally stress induced. So
You believe in muscle memory as far as tension like that? Like it locks up in your back possibly for years until that muscle's completely released?
that's an interesting question. I do believe that you can store trauma in your muscles, like long-term trauma. I think that's part of what I've got going on. I went to So the chiropractor that I go to is the second chiropractor that I've been to in my life. And when I went to my first appointment with the second chiropractor, we got to talking, and he was sharing stories with me because we were talking about this sort of a subject, and I was asking him about my back, and I was telling him about my injury. We were taking x-rays, we did the whole thing, and he was telling me that he's had countless women in particular that have had stored trauma in their muscles in their lower back, and as he's treating them, and on the third, fourth, fifth, sixth visits, when he can get their lower back to move and twist, that he would pop their lower back and they would just turn into a puddle of tears in the chair or on the bed, whatever you want to call it, because he was unlocking the trauma that was stored in those muscles, and they would grieve out the trauma. It's so total left field here. Little boys are usually told not to cry, to suck it up, to da 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 da. And crying is a human release of trauma. So twofold, boys are inherently taught to suppress trauma, and women tend to overexpress trauma, which we all should. That's how you heal. So I found it fascinating on several levels when we were having this. I was having this conversation with my chiropractor because I was connecting all these dots. And there's something cathartic and healing on a psychic, spiritual, like intuitive level with crying. And I've noticed in the last week that the only days that I can seem to get from one stage of I'm really messed up to I'm a little bit better is through crying. And it's through the release of it. And
Right.
it's been a mind-blowing experience in the last 10 days because I'm finding myself being overly empathetic with people that I'm not necessarily always overly empathetic with, but it's because I'm processing a lot of my previous traumas, and that's leading to excessive fits of crying. But each time I do that, I find that I'm able to do more. I'm able to get closer back to normal. So I'm trying to understand all of this in myself without projecting onto anybody else. And it's been really, really eye-opening. So I've kind of appreciated not having cannabis or anything else to muddle the experience while I'm trying to understand what's going on here. Because I think what's going on in me goes on in everybody else, but it's going to be slightly altered. We're all different people, but I think they were all human. So there's going to be some relative baseline consistency from, from personal experience to personal experience. And I just wanted to share. I don't really know where I was going with it, but it's been eye-opening.
I've realized something. I don't know if anyone else has picked up on this, but outside of just this show, but other shows I watch, and even outside of just cannabis content, I've seen like a weird amount of people releasing trauma, like in the last week. Very weird vibe I've been picking up on. Where like people are like just like telling stories that they haven't told in their whole life, and like out in public and on the live to people.
So I don't know if you guys are all on board, and I can't necessarily explain it all, but women have a very obvious cycle. I was explaining a minute ago how men are taught to suppress trauma, suppress emotion, but men have a cycle as well. And prior to calendars, prior to clocks, prior to dates, we used the moon.
Yep.
And when you go back to that knowledge of using the moon, you can pick up on your own cycle in relation to the moon. And not the last, not the last full moon, but the one before that it turned everybody that I knew upside down. Like it was a microcosm of hell for about 2 weeks for everybody that I knew. And I can't explain why. I can't explain in any sort of scientific white paper, modern terms, what the hell happened. But there was a very definitive window of time where life just went. And everybody that I knew was a mess, and it completely tore me up. I happened to rebound from that. I thought. I guess not though, because I don't think I processed it. I think I just tried to grit it and make it through it. And I think part of what I'm going through now is because I didn't deal with that. I don't know if everybody else did that, and I don't know if that's the explanation for everybody else's issue in the last 7 to 10 days, but I think that's part of what I'm going through. But that's very much from my herbal, spiritual, energetic understanding. There's no white paper I could point you to that would verify any of that. You just kind of have to believe me or not, and I don't care if you don't, but it's very real. I noticed cycles originally in men in my brother. My brother's autistic. He's 10 years younger than me. He's highly autistic. He's very emotional. He's very body language driven, energetic driven. And it made me susceptible. So I'll share a little personal story with you. It made me susceptible to picking up on other people's energies and other people's vibes. I can walk in a room and tell you not what they've been talking about, but the way that they were talking about it, because I can sense the energy in the room. I can walk past somebody in the mall and tell you if they're having a good day or a bad day just by how they're carrying themselves. I can pick up, I don't mean to, but I pick up on people's tone of their voice and the look of their face and the way that they hold themselves. And I put that all together and I can tell you how they're feeling. And 95% of the time I'm right. I can pick up on people with disabilities because I can tell that they're there, but there's these fractions missing, or there's these fractions hidden, or there's these fractions, especially with mental disabilities. I just key into it, but that's because my brother was nonverbal for 7 years, and we had to understand how to read this little boy in diapers with a bottle walking around like Bam Bam. I mean, we had to figure something out. As I got into herbalism and I went to school, there was a particular herbalist that came to visit, and she uses that intuitive, energetic presence, that knowledge to help her take care of her clients. And when she found out, she came and gave a lecture to the 12 people in my graduating class, and we got to know her for a few hours. And when she figured out that I could do this, the look on her face, I'll never forget. She stared me down for a solid 30 seconds, and she told me that she was giving a talk later that night. And she like vehemently just told me that you need to come to this talk, and I need to teach you how to be able to block that so that you don't take on everybody else's bad energy. What did I do? Fucking went home. So I didn't get the talk. I didn't want the talk. I didn't want to turn that off. That's a large part of who I am. So anyway, it's interesting that I'm so in tune with that part, but there's also so many people that wouldn't believe me if I told them. You know, I'm sure a lot of people here would believe me. A lot of people in chat would believe me, but there's whole sections of the society that would be like,
Right.
put down the bong. Like,
Sure.
what? And it's fascinating to me. Like, it's absolutely fascinating.
Well, two things is what you said about the moon is funny. The same thing is with, like, I've been noticing a lot of people like you're doing right now, sharing stories. I don't want to classify that as releasing trauma, but a lot of that I did realize I was having the same exact conversations with people about weird concepts like time is an illusion. And then we talk about how time used to be based on instead of 12, 13 months and a 28 to 29 day calendar based on the new moon phases. And then what you said about picking up on someone's attitude or emotions, or I feel like I got that hereditary through my grandma on my mom's side, and she was real good at that. She was real good on judgment of, you know, picking up on people's actual intentions, or, you know.
I remember
like,
where I was going now.
Mhm.
Thanks for giving me a minute to think about that and sharing.
Yeah.
I was watching my brother, and we were trying to figure out why. So he would do, you know, he had a problem with school for a multitude of reasons. But in the fall is when school starts. And something about the days getting shorter, the nights getting longer, somewhere around Halloween for about 6 years in a row, my brother was not my brother for about 6 weeks. He was just somebody else. There was probably 2 years in there that I thought my brother was almost legitimately possessed. He would turn into almost a devil. Like, he would totally flip the script upside down. He'd start yelling. He'd, like, not words, but just screaming at the top of his lungs with fire in his eyes that I've never seen in anybody else. And we started to watch these patterns. He would slip into it in the fall. He would come out of it about Thanksgiving. He would get really happy in the spring, and he would level out in the summer, and then he would dip in the fall. And it was a whole thing. It made me start to look at myself, because I was looking at him, and I realized that every fall I would slip into a depression. I would get stagnant and immobilized and have these deep, dark thoughts and go to places that aren't healthy. And I started to see in him, I started to see it in me. And it wasn't him rubbing off. It was the acknowledgement that we're both going through the same annual cycle. So that made me start to look at monthly cycles, which made me start to really evaluate what the hell's going on with me. And then I realized I've been taught to suppress all these different things. There's a whole parts of life that we're not taught anymore, possibly on purpose. And
Course, on
it's,
purpose.
Well, I was thinking like what you're saying is maybe there's a basis to it on a physiological thing, but what I think is there's different terminology for it. It's either like the morphic resonance field or collective consciousness or the Akashic record. But picking up on all that kind of thing, it's funny they said around autumn or around Halloween, and all those negative connotations, whether you want to believe it or not, that are based on, you know, certain ritualistic ceremonies that take place during that time, tapping into like what you said, like a supernatural or where it comes from, and it displays itself almost like as possession. I really,
the timing is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
With Halloween in particular. Yeah, I don't think I said Halloween out loud before right now.
no, I have a stubborn ass dog and he was born on Halloween. I think that has to do with it.
But yeah, then you get into, you know, there's a daily cycle surrounded by Keith just mentioned, you know, the wake sleep cycle. The circadian rhythm is your daily cycle. Then there's the monthly cycle. Then there's the quarterly cycle, and then there's the annual cycle. But we suppress all of that, and we put it on a clock, and we put it on a calendar so we don't have to think about it or talk about it. And I just find it fascinating. I honestly don't remember how we got this far, but thanks for letting me just babble and share, because it's fascinating.
I like it.
It's totally suppressed stuff that if you individually, just to hell with me and what I think, but if we all individually take a step back and look, I think you'll see some of what I'm saying in yourself.
No, I feel
I
like
see you exactly. I just want to be like, I'm glad that you're stepping into more of your spiritual side about it. That's all I hear. There is. You got to unlock that to see certain things. And like crying is a release. So yeah.
Yeah,
I'm already
it's
on board.
fascinating.
It is, and we're learned other ways and to suppress it, because you know you don't want to believe in, some people can't believe in magic, or they can't just think that way. They just can't. They're like, no.
Well, for me, I'm more of someone that picks up on things as kind of like, you know, like alarm clock or a knock on the door. And like I said, like this conversation that extends outside of just the wormhole. There's a common thread that I feel like people are experiencing. Like I've had conversations outside of the wormhole, and then I've watched other podcasts outside of cannabis content where it's almost like the same exact thing. Like before I mentioned that, and Cascadian said the same thing about the moon cycle thing. And I don't know if that's what activated it, but literally, yeah. And for like the past week, I have seen that come out of people a lot more easy, or a lot of people tend to be less reserved with releasing that.
What you think, Eagle? You got quiet over there, bro.
Got lots of thoughts on that. A few thoughts anyway.
I know, like my mind is like overload right now.
Sorry, it's probably the second time I've done it to you guys tonight.
Yeah, we all got to microdose or do something at this point.
I think that's part of it right there. I think there's a large amount of more people are taking psychedelics, mushrooms again, which I think unlock a lot of emotional, not necessarily baggage, but stuff that's buried down. Some of that I actually think may be the firing of the 5G. I know that's kind of conspiracy bullshit, but nonetheless, we absorb that energy like everything else does. And as that shit fires up, I think we're gonna go through, as humans, a weird phase until we get used to the that is around us, because it's going to be a change for us all. You know, I don't care what they say, it isn't going to bother us, but it's a more thicker, intense pulse. And we're going to feel that. And I believe that's going to be in an emotional way. They know already, there's studies that the government has put out for using the cell towers against us in a way. They can actually change that frequency just like anything else to where it annoys us, makes us, you know, stressed, and a lot of things. There's a lot of
a
studies.
literal
I've
brown
actually
note.
worked on under them cell towers in like a remodeling phase of them little trailers. And man, I was in top-notch shape at the time when we started that shit. And immediately after taking on that, I mean, it was a hard hustle to get into because it had to be like a one-day thing. You know, we went down in a good group and we would knock out certain sites, but they were usually like 3-hour drive one way. So we try to make, you know, do what we had to do, which would be cut the building in half, cut a doorway, add a door, cut another area for an air conditioner, and do a whole bunch of modifications to the. I put a wall in there, double drywall, FRP on both sides for a generator for Verizon. So it was, you know, a little strenuous work, but we got into a hustle. But man, I tell you what, working at the bottom of that tower, we all noticed a heavy amount of fatigue at the end of the day, headaches, and that made me to the point where I looked into that shit. There's a log when you go in that building, there's a book right there, and it's not necessarily like technicians that's worked on the stuff that's, you know, in the racks. It's the amount of time that they spend there and go up the tower, because they're limited to 2-hour sessions, and then they're done. They got to get the fuck out of there because the radiation is so great. And there's the logbooks, you know, for that purpose right there in the tower. But man, I noticed that shit right off the bat. And again, now I think a lot of this emotional stuff, because I've noticed it too. A lot of people going through a lot more anxiety lately, a lot of ups and downs. And I think it is, man. I think the firing up of the 5G, which is coming rapid, man. My fucking Samsung S8, my oldest phone right here, this fucking thing hardly works anymore. I think there's going to be a time in the next week or two, because it doesn't have 5G. It's going to be a fucking paperweight.
That's the phone I'm on right now, Eagle.
Yeah.
It's a good phone.
Like I basically use my cell phones until like it gets to that point. Like I literally have to get a new phone because it doesn't work. Like the 5G.
But I think psychedelics play a little bit of with that is too. I think that's kind of maybe, I don't know if you take some mushrooms or not, or, you know, dealing that at all, cascadian, but I think that's kind of maybe because I don't know if it's been me having girls all this time, but it's definitely unlocked a softer side last year. And I think the steady intake of the microdosing and the mushrooms have played a role in that as well, both taking me to a spiritual side, and then once I got there, kind of getting to an empathy stage, as you were talking about, where, you know, I was more sensitive to everything. And unfortunately, being empathetic and more sensitive things, unfortunately, means fucking crying sometimes.
Your body is trying to heal. Let it heal. And your body is trying to let it heal, because you'll feel better. Just, yeah, let it heal. Which
kind of leads me right up to a question I was hoping to get to anyway tonight, Cheecha B.
I don't know if I'm ready.
Yes, it's an easy one. I think it's an easy one anyway. You know the black Orbison I usually wear with the Tree of Life on it?
Yeah.
I mean, that the black Orbison is good for keeping away negative energy, correct?
Yes. Yes.
How do I wash that motherfucker? Because I feel like
Cleanse
it's
it.
full. Yeah, I feel like it's like
Full
defended or
moon.
full.
You can
Yeah, like
you
it's
can
actually taking all it can take it and it needs a fresh start.
you can use sage, you can use the full moon, you can use selenite, you can is a cleanser too. I mean,
Some
yeah.
some substances I've heard being cleansed by being buried,
Yeah.
where they're
Yeah.
literally grounded out.
Yep.
You bury it in the ground, and
Yep.
it grounds out that negative energy. And when you bring it back up after a certain time period, it no longer has that association. You'll notice when you grab it and you touch it that the energetics of it won't affect you where it did when, if you pay attention, when you put it in the ground and you let
Right.
go, if you
Yep.
feel the change, and then when
It's
you
all-
grab
yep.
it and you take it back out, you won't feel the reciprocating version of that change anymore. That
Mhm.
energy's gone.
Well-
But it only that only works with certain elements. I'm still trying to understand.
Yeah. But yeah, that's another way too. I mean, with the whole ground thing, you got to think you can ground yourself by taking your shoes off and putting your feet in the grass. Why couldn't you bury a mineral there's minerals in the ground? So that's a good way to cleanse it. Like making moon water, you want to have it in glass, and you can set it out on your deck, but
What about the connection between you and that crystal itself or whatever? If you're out sunlight,
you have to put, it's all about intentions too.
But I mean, like physical contact, like we're talking about grounding, like
Mhm.
ground wire. If you have your physical bare feet in the ground, you're holding onto that crystal. Does that make a grounding connection between the crystal?
Why
and
wouldn't
the
it? If you have the intent there, if you want to have that crystal that you're holding go through your body to go through the ground.
Right, but
just
you're not
think
gonna,
of your veins as the transporter.
you're not
into
going to
the
stand there for a
ground.
week though. That's the kicker, is you're not going to stand there grounded for a week holding the thing.
Well, yeah, for
That's-
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kicker.
But there's things that you can
what if
do
you're
yourself to
what if you're
cleanse
not in a
yourself.
hurry though, and you do it over a week's period of time every night for a week?
It might take a month. As
Oh,
opposed to
come
burying, as opposed to burying it for a week and leaving it there,
Yeah, but you can leave crystals out for
Right.
with the full moon for a night, as long as you pick them up before the sun gets them.
But it might not work the same way with obsidian
Right.
or lava rock or pyrite. These are all grounding stones. They need to be buried. My woman bought me this,
Yeah, I seen you post that.
and it's so funny because everybody's first question is, "Why aren't you wearing it?" And it's because I don't have the right energy right now. I don't want the energy that I have right now to be in this forever.
Right.
So I refuse
Yeah,
to
I
put
get
it
that.
on until I'm back to where I was supposed to be. But it's absolutely beautiful, and I love the shit out of it. And it's very special. It's obsidian with gold-plated edges, lava rock, and pyrite pieces. And then in between the pyrite pieces is trees.
Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it now. I'm like, what?
That's badass.
Real life.
That's super badass.
But
So with the same aspect though, Cascadian, I wear stones and keep stones on me for the same reasons. But in the same aspect though, wouldn't you feel like, because you're in a bad place, almost we would say in a weakened state, that's almost the time when I would wear it, because frankly, I'm in my weakest state and I can't take no more. I need the fucking defense.
What if you think of it?
You know what I mean?
What if you think of it as like a crystal energy transplant? What if someone with really high vibes of energy right now were to mail you their crystal? Right? Someone
Yeah,
really,
like Mr. Green Paws, he sent me crystals. Definitely when I felt that energy. There was seashells that when I went to South Carolina that I picked up and I put away, and like when I opened it back up, I still felt that energy.
Mhm.
So
Well, as I'm
Yeah.
looking through these pictures,
So,
there's the
I-
good, there's the bad.
I would wear the necklace if I was still on the slide. But because I'm at the slump, I'm not gonna wear the necklace.
and it's not, if you get that feeling that you don't want to, or you can't.
I just don't know how else to explain it. I feel like it could have saved me on the slide.
God,
It could
you
have
don't
kept
have
me
to
from
say
hitting.
anything more.
But
I've had that.
Go with those.
because I want to be, it's intuition. I don't know how.
Follow it.
You know where I had that in reverse is that I think I mentioned it before, is playing basketball and what I would call leaving off on a good note. And if I hit like 3 basketballs and I missed like 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a row and I was getting progressively more and more pissed off, I would never quit until I would actually just hit like the perfect shot and go swoosh. And I would call that leaving off on a good note, because I don't want to stop when I'm angry. I want to stop when I'm happy and satisfied.
So I'm looking through these pictures still. Telling you, there's thousands. I think there's like 17,000 pictures of this whole. I was telling Lexi's story the other night. I don't know if you guys remember that. This is the car that she was ejected from.
No, I think I've seen it before. I don't know.
That's the car. You can see where the trunk of the tree actually hit the top of the car there. Both girls were ejected out of each side of the doors there. I don't know if it will screen share exactly what I think I got to go out and come back. So let me close this back into this. Let me see. I forgot. I thought I had. She was actually ejected out the passenger side of that vehicle right
Wow.
here. This side of the vehicle. It actually doesn't look all that. She was ass first out this window. As the car rolled at him, she got ejected out that window. They actually, when I first seen her for the first time, man, she still had fucking glass and everything in her fucking hair. Close this. And then I told the story, I think it was last night, of having to go to multiple places.
I haven't been hanging around too long, but was that the first time you told that story on any of this?
It was the second time, to be honest with you. And this is what she looked like after I finally, it was almost 3 hours to get to her, all in all, before I finally got to see her. Like I said last night, by the time I just was getting off at the exit, for the first hospital she was at, they told me she had been flown to the University of Michigan hospital. And that's what she had looked like when I got to her right there. I was so happy to see. It's bad. Oof, it's hard to even talk about that.
Yeah.
So grateful that she was. That's what I see. I was so scared. So scared. Huh.
Wow.
It's just seeing that, man. It was.
Takes you right back, doesn't it?
It did, man.
Yeah, man. That's powerful shit, dude. I can feel it.
I couldn't even.
A rough time. That was I guess got that call, and she was halfway across the state. It was almost a 2-hour drive to the hospital they took her to. And then when I got there, they told me we cannot service the 2 here. We have to fly them by helicopter to Michigan. And then we automatically assumed the worst. When we got that, and we had nothing else to go by. So it was another hour and a half drive to that hospital before we could see her. And that was the longest, speediest, longest. I don't ever want to go through that.
Yeah. Wow.
Kiss your kids. Kiss everybody you love.
I'm glad
That's
it
all I
turned
can
out all
say
right,
to that
man.
shit, man.
Yeah, I'm glad it turned out all right.
Hell yeah. Oh.
Well,
Dab song.
something. Trying to get that
Song.
back. Oh. You know it's commercial, right?
I'll be back in about 30 seconds. I'm gonna go grab a drink.
Hell yeah.
Must be the full moon, like they say, right?
Well,
Is it a
you
full
know,
moon?
we
So I
are
go throw
in
my stone outside.
well, we don't get the full moon until the 26th, and that's a flower moon. We're in a waning crescent moon. That's what I was looking up. I was like trying to find out because we're supposed to be going into a retrograde, and
all right,
yeah, retrogrades are not fun because it gets people doing, you know, the last retrograde we were in. Oh my gosh. Okay. What is a waning moon crescent?
What's the best way to clean the stone immediately other than the full moon? Probably bury it then, I guess.
You could bury it, yeah.
How long?
I would say at least a day. I would say 3.
I'd give it a couple days. Unbury it, touch it, and if it don't feel right, cover it right back up.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And just give it a couple more. Try it again. It'll tell you when it's ready.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. It's a damn song. It was loud, at least on my end.
Who's got a dance to it, right?
I'm curious to look coffee right this second. Oh, I think I got a bowl right here. Got my skull bowl.
I broke my bong.
Oh,
The biggest one too. Miss Daisy. I went to go grab something, it like kind of tipped and I grabbed it and it slipped and it just it's not savable.
That's one way to clear the energy.
I'm so sad.
man, I've been eating the shit out of these peanuts. Woo! Oh man, they're a mixed bag too. You see, I think that bag weighed almost about 30 pounds, I think, somewhere around there. But man, it's some of these are like they're Cajun, so some of them are like not bad, but then you get that one that's like holy shit, like it's split up like all the spice, man. They're good though.
Hey Eagle, have you told this dude why his song's getting all these plays yet, or is he just mysteriously racking plays up still?
He's still just mysteriously racking up plays.
I love it.
He's got let me see here. It ain't much. It's like two, maybe how many followers? It's like 39 subscribers. 39 subscribers, and me just banging this song all the fucking time.
You probably was like, hell yeah. Wait, what?
I am sub to. I did at least sub up to his channel, so I am one of
There you
the
go.
39.
So maybe
Should
he's
drop his
figured
link
it
so
out.
everybody can go sub up, so everybody can start banging that song.
Well, with that, guys, holy shit, 6:07. I think I'm gonna call this after I pause this damn commercial. I don't know what's going on. At least it isn't. I think the funniest one is randomly the manscaping one that came on. I was doing the shout outs, and you know what I mean? In the YouTube, out of the blue, it starts talking about manscaping your balls. I look over and I'm like, really, YouTube, right now? This is the fucking commercial you're gonna fucking throw me. Oh, you got sense of humor. Actually, as far as YouTube goes, I seen a thing that finance talking about cannabis. I was like, YouTube is finally getting it. Maybe they'll lay off us a little bit and invest maybe in us. That'd be something.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm gonna peel out of here. Eagle, I'll let you put a wrap on this, man. Thanks for having me. It was
Yeah,
a
for
pleasure,
sure.
guys. Thanks for letting me vent and shit. I'm
For
sure I'll be
sure.
back, man.
Glad you did. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
You're always welcome.
Yeah, man. Have a good one. I'll catch you guys again soon. And
Have a
thanks,
good
chat.
night.
It was a good night tonight.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna follow him out. Much love. Thanks for having me. It was definitely an awesome time. And see you
Sounds
later.
awesome.
Yeah.
It always
right.
seems to end with us, redpill.
I'm just at this point I'm always almost caught off guard because it always ends up being like one of those let's sign up with the dab thing, and I'm like halfway in my dab recovery. So
You always look up with that, like, I got
yeah.
fucking peanut on my
Yeah.
teeth. It's gonna drive me nuts.
Another good night in the wormhole. Thank you, Eagle.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate having you, man.
Yep. Same here. I don't mind showing up every night. I am always intrigued where this wormhole goes. It's a perfect name for this portion of the show. So
It seems to be bottomless, doesn't it?
yeah, and like I said, I didn't really mean to take it in the direction. Like I said, I can. There's examples, like I said, for the vibe I've been feeling outside of tonight and for a while, but it's very weird, odd thing, and it was only like reaffirming tonight.
Brother, I'm glad you bring it up. This is my thoughts on it in general. Some of you guys might wonder why I don't get as deep as I do into the talking anymore. Well, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But man, it's cannabis has been a long road for me. Still interests me just as much as the day I do. But even more so, I've been talking on these shows now. This is fucking year 3 of talking cannabis on air. You know what I mean? At some point, as much as I love it, it could be. There's nights where it's like, yeah, I could talk it for a little bit. But when you come on here, when it came to like doing this, 5 hours a night talking cannabis, you know what I mean?
No, I know.
It gets hard. It gets hard to find that same subject every day, and make it as fun and new.
I've done the same thing.
So it takes, you know, a little bit of side tantrums and
Mm.
this and that. That's what the wormhole is for. It keeps it fresh for me. It's a relief from the straight cannabis stuff. So
And
I appreciate the
thank
side
you.
tantrums. Squirrels.
I've been in that same thing where I've like gone. There's little 1 year focus periods where cannabis interest is the number one thing, but then a lot of it is like how I came back here. I came back here and started hanging out over here after a long period of not really being involved in whatever was going on, and I came back to it, and there's definitely a lot where I don't know what it is being whatever the word is for when you realize that you didn't know everything, and people have been carrying the ball forward a lot longer than you've been stopping or not paying attention the past 2-3 years. Like people have been carrying on and taking conversations further like we're doing. There's been that bit of it to where every single day, and it's a wave, different people in here, their cannabis experience picks up on certain periods, and they're going into the furthest depths of the cannabis wormhole at certain different times than either me or you might have doing it. It might overlap or it might happen at the same time. But for me, I appreciate that you have this set up for me to do it, and if I'm not on purpose take the conversation to something that totally doesn't relate to cannabis but is really interesting, then I'm happy with that. Or if I get the idea to do it and I bring it up, same thing. Because in that same period of time, like I said, I socialized and hung out with the exact same people that I've met here on YouTube or on Instagram. But like you said, we talk about cannabis 24/7 and then 24/7 for a week straight. So then when you get to be friends with people on like everyday basis like this, but then you end up knowing people for 3 years or more, then the conversations end up being about a whole bunch of other things other than cannabis. So every single day that we hang out in here, it's probably going to be more and more new stories that we can tell, because you mix up, it's like a handful of dice, and you mix up 6 different people that come in the wormhole, and then the conversation goes in one direction. It's going to be infinite possibilities of where it leads to. That's how I want to cap it
Forward
off.
to see.
Yeah.
Looking forward to see where it goes tomorrow, my friend.
Thank you.
Some rest, Mo.
Yep.
Have an amazing night tomorrow night.
Yep. Thank you very much, Eagle. Peace out, everyone.
So, well, that does it, guys. Episode 392. Holy shit. I can't believe it. I am so looking forward to 400. Man, it seems like 300 a minute. It did. Took a minute to get from 3 to 4 for some reason. And I am greatly looking forward to 4 to 5. 4 to 500 episodes. I can't believe it. I mean, I'm gonna do that 1,000. I said 1,000. I'm gonna do 1,000. So hopefully you guys follow me along. And at that point, when we hit that 1,000, we'll see where it goes. But until then, you guys have me for the 1,000. Like it or not, even if we window back down to the original 5 that were here in the beginning. Still being here. Well, you guys know the deal. It is time. It is time for the shout outs. These things right here. I need to come over here. Come over here. Forget to move my camera. Not looking down. Turn on the speakers. I don't know why I don't have this on. course I don't. Oh, there we go. As soon as it starts. Who's 400? No, I haven't actually booked 400 yet. I don't think. By the way, this year, episode, I believe it is 44. Joel, North Star Genetics. See if we got somebody. 400. Nope, I have nobody booked for 400. Who wants to be 400? Hit me up. Sub Cool, D's House of Dang, Lost 710, Scarecrow 420, Green Thumb Bum, Christina MG 89, Unplugged 705, Medical McGully, Rick T, the Rebel, 9207, Fabian, Salinas, Dave's Not Here, Tom Spook, Greg Walker, Mendo Dope, T Dog, Dung Beetle, Red Eye Jedi Grows, Mother Nature, Justin Conway, Duckweed, Runboy 72426, Justin Gooder, Strongman, Okie Grower 75, Corey Trevor, Michael Wallace, Gold Vision 420, Who's Your Cat Daddy, Taco Don Slug, Rick S, Linda Bushes 827, James Dukes, Kevin Hahn, World's Last Hope, Patsman 420, Biomentor, Dirt Road Dude, Tennessee, Jose Ramirez, Red Eye Ruffer, Dad Gobble, Dr. Most right here, Acetone 710, Canuck, Kind of Queen Genetics, Savvy Tanase, Funer, Dirtman Dan, Keith the Black Sales, Mr. Bosils, Sim Premium Gardens, Rob, Ross, Jeff, Rasta Bob, Soil Roots, Small Toots, Tyler, Small T Roots, North Michigan Micro, Ouija Buds, Dub T Roy, Big Jar Girls, JC Modern Genetics, SoCal Weedner, John, Last PPG 15, Green County Grower, CJ Apple. That's a day oneer right there. Perfectly Imperfected, Dollar Tree Grower, T1 Productions, Date Grower, DOA Grown Meds, Miss Nudie, I Grew Some, Johnny Candice, Nutrient, Shootouts, Naughty Nicky, Zoe and Slammer, NNY, Pixel Monkey, St. Bernard's, Observation Booth, Clover 420, High Spy, Aldridge 25, Miss Madam T, Sumumo, Grower, the Cannon Crate, Loki Grows, Sus, This Guy, Burton 79, Polish Hammer, Midwest Outlaws 31, Voodoo, I already got those, Fresno Nerds, Voodoo Altas, did I get him? Wolverine Grown, Big Car Grows again, Jimmy One for Life, Late, Wayback Farmer, D Block, MMP, Nations Creations, Amber Lalana, Psychedelic Warlock, Artist LD, Sir Sticky, Rob, Big Day 420, Brown, Big Head 96, C1, Manawani, G3, Green Click, Matt J, K, Triple G, Mr. Sprinkler, Brittany and Tyler Teasley, Hope Farms, Lisa G, John, Beat You Crazy for You, BGWG 420, Dr. Budswell, Thumb OG. Hopefully you are well, my friend. Anthro, Sons Amelia, Arthur, Just Face 420, Beast Coast Grower 420, Sir How, Trey Palone, Keep It Real, Hagerton 420, Zeb Zeppelin, Audit Everywhere, BT, Double D Grows, Bingus, hope you are well, Green Puffin Man, Alex Boy, Chef, Chef Life, School of Crop, Coast I Love It, Green Mountain Growers, Southwest, Okie, Real 100, 212, Andy Man, Miranda Family Farms, Page Farms, Me Off Flower, Randy, Ryan Henderson, Green 13, Noob Sailbot Wins, Kingdom Aquaponics, Indra, Michigan Native, Mary Jane Med Garden, Streamer 77 Double D, Bad Bunny Nutrients, Mr. Green Pops, Mr. Green Nugs from 619 to 664, Spaniard Kruger, Jones and the Grow, Papa G Grows, Raz Amy Drove Grows, Cass, the Grow From Your Heart podcast, Lily Luna, the Green Med Flock, Jeremiah Miranda, Sony Creek, Lost Art, Mr. No One, LG 420, Giant Mike, Prometheus Soil, Jason Iso, P Win, David Colby, Mason 662, Scroggy McScroggerton, the Fourth to Goddess, Groves, Kaylee, Burrows, Chad Brad Family Farms, Polly P, Bjork, Kevin Georgie, Michael Honcho, Jay Huggins, UDA, Green Tree Hunter, Kush Cloud, Joshua Seensland, Organic Home Buds, Warren Nelson, Cam Wood, Maine Mystic, Show Love Always, Kelly Sohn, Texas OG, Chuck Norris, Sarge S, Claire Fresno, Happy Guy, Your Dan Indoor Man, Grow Me Homies, Hamilton, Smoke, Clip Smoke, Canis, Keystone, Canna Flag, PA, Big High 710, Eugene, Greenleaf, Ace Drew Hustle, Fred Durn Carlos, No Sellout, Jesse White, Gosh Dang Yelly, Introvert Genetics, So J, Vixen Robin, Killer 8 Mold, James Buttercream, C-Dub from NoCal, The Pharmacy Seedback, Dreadhead, Smokey 616, Curtis Mahan, Matt Myron, Morte, Rick Heyman, Stephanie Dore, Antenna Seeds, Mike Rubles, the Drew Bear 420, Maxi 751, Lawrence Gonzalez, Slow to Get Up, Stu Move, Popco 719, Bake with Shake, baby, Old Smoke, BWC, Grown Buds, Lord Wash, Mr. Weed Blunt, Old School Grower, Chad Westport, Honcho Grown, Florida Nugs, My Little Piece of Heaven, 100 Sound Seeds, Goliath Grower, Richard T, Chrissy Wannabe, Mr. Soul, Food Spectrum, Gone God, Lori Hanson, Real 2,000 Years of Tradition, Mr. D. Connolly, Pimp, Jam, Make Vody Face. And a good old YouTube commercial. Show me Sasquatch. Fuck Google and you. I'm going well. Canadian Restore. Poor dirt farmer. Carl Wright, Zephyr, Humble Farms, Tannery Farm, Seldom Seen, Oak Park Art, 782, Skunky Packs, Marshall, Artist, 2012, Micro Slave, Hefner, Danny McDizzle, Medically Fit, KGB, Robert, Mr. Green Figures, Summits, Rancher Coast Plenty, Monkey Balls, Andrew Chaplin, Bobby Lynn, Me, Strength, Dave Max, Mr. Mac, Tony Lake Bologna, Bill S, Mr. Weed Peace, Tater Delicious, Minty Country Roots, Huron, Fire Tonight, Creeper, Big Ray 420, Teeny 101, Big Oats and the Hazard, Mr. Club 14, Bearded B-Man 61, Peter B-Man Farm 616, Nolan North, Max Groom and Ruby. Got 2 and 1 there. Timothy McKimmons, Neo, Justin Beans, Chronic 88, Fat Belly, Real Jennifer Steele, Kimmons 03, Turd Farmer, Shannon Stevens, Carlitos, Latinos, Gator Country, Mr. Speed, Wolfstein, Firestall, Wally Wookie, They Got Us Grows, Ross Bob, Ross Whitefeather Bros. Man, that fucking Tiger King is looking amazing, brother, if you're listening. Burning Shrooms, Tone Grows, Gate, K-Man Grows, BX Gunner, Smith Dude, New Grows, Sean McCann, J Monks, Dank Jenna, Wawa, Canna Grow, Fall Dog, Huron Canada Council, Alyssa Parrish, Rock Fam, Justice Mick, 420, Ben Fresh Bro, Thriving Herbs, High Boy, Your Mailman Grows, We Be Growing, Australian Grown for Love of the Pan, Argo American, Swamp Poker, Frozen, Unfrozen, Matt Caveman, that is, Hawaii's Highest, Surfcraft, Micro Goon, Jeff Lowenfels, Mobius, Brown, Dan D, Elliott Harkins, Mystic Flavor, The Foraging Gardener, Overwater, Overkill, Sea Valve, Steve Shadow Warrior, Valley Ring 514, Billy Johnson, Oz Indica, Dr. MJ Coco, Brandon Russ, Matthew Gates, Steve's Bags, Rome Star, Shotgun Willie, Pink, Yoda, Jay Simmons, Sure Bro, Rose, Colacamus, DJ Connolly, ATJ, like 1978, Michigan Grown Bullets, Your Boy, Roy Boy, Delta 9, Jay McDaniels, Colacamus, Dylan signed for a PFC Farms, Husky Garden, Sun Grown 707, J8 Grow, J420 Grow, Cascadian Grown was here tonight, T-Toads McGee, For Plante, Woodworks, Captain Scrub, Skunky Buns, Hans Warrior, Jackie Young, Terry Lee Live, Basketball, Gasser Tempe, NEN, D Urge, Green Jr., Leon from All Purpose Plus, Green Goose, 11 Smiles, 11, Bindu Buds, Michael Rasa Plenty, 311 mix up, Kinder Grows, Evergreen Haze, G Friend Tree, MMJ, Matt Ass, Save Ball, Dragonfly Beam, Justin Meds, Travis Walls, Lucky Mike, Seattle Chronic Seeds, King Chronic, Titan from Blessed Coast Seeds, Django Gas, Babasco for Life, John Smith, Tommy Trico, Bulko, King, Ross, Pop Little, Slow Roots, Spiky Pilots, Oscar Green Jr., Matt Steelbird, Into 11, Stephanie V, Sharp Pulley 989, Von Brown, Solomon Garden, Stoner Edition 420, Joe Y, Bugs 1313, Grower, Painted Lady, Frank Booth, Jay Myers, Submit, The Chat, Mr. Manny D, Bag Seed, Dr. DGC, Jeff Shredder 911, Dr. D, Dutch Grows 420, Scallywag 420, Skill Bull 1, Med Grower 1, Empire Breeding Co. Lot for Danny Danko, B Bear 7, Ollie Noble, CK, Tom Trinidad, Lonely Jester, Smoking with Small Town, Tim S, Mr. Lazy, Rafter Grows, Rob, Automation is Freedom, Robert Hazelton, Drawer, Michigan, Corey, Double Tap Farms, Rich Green Thumb, 420, 808, Rooting Prospects, Canna Buster, Hate and Life, Kenny 710, Operation Grows, T Ben, Rude Nuts, Hammer D Nails, thank you both, Dr. Scrambles, BB Moonrocks, G8F Double J, Wild Green Stealth Grower, 56, Hanky Stanky 420, OG KP, Ganja Nana, Your Mama, George Joe, Roy Rodriguez, B Growing, Nature's Best Nug, Killer B Grows, Ganja Wizard, Husky Gardens, Nut Tree 420, Dr. Ooze Life, Bully for Life, the Jeffro 420, Beavis State, the Dr. Franklin Booty, goddamn, I'm Big Ted's Test. Griffin Fat Boy, Jack Greenstock, 420, 420, Boom Farms, Charlie's Farm, 420, Aldridge, 25, Smileys Gardens, JD's, Miss D's Nugs, Growing, Smoking Grow Frazier, Grow Koski, Twisted Roots, Faded Farm, 420, Jeff Dorowski, Genetic Memory of Cameron, Mr. Bagsy, Jill Carter, Mystic Marks, Mystic Grower, Ginger Snaps, ETE, Groze, Rick Wolf, DLP 2372, Ned Denver, Mike Denver, Sergeant Pepper 420, Cannon Trooper, Flying Cat 420, Light Up Again, Tim, UKSIF 420, Buddha Boy, Devin Shipwreck, Michael, MJ, Buttsville, USA, Resurrection Prophet, Chris Martinez, Dankman 420, Dankman Dad, Red Side the Farm, Good Luck, Joni Bell, Cheecha B was here tonight, Jim Most Hated Bro, the Major General 420, American 1, W Digger 714, Serates, Kenny was in the mountain skies, ready to hit that hot vibe. Mr. Chris Smirch was in chat tonight. Even Save Robbie, Sergeant Live, Happy Cam, Finger Lakes Finest, Ridgepad, Dozer Moon, Southern BT, Grower, Choose Medical, Jared Blair, Plus One Mushroom, Secret City, Pioneers, My Little Tent, 2042 Space Water, Christian Tree Mom, T. Barrington, Homegrown, Mike B, T. Dwayne. Get this mouse ready. East Coast Will, Heidi Day, Galactic Gardens, John Smith, Elliptis, My Natural Farms, Pacific Northwest Seeds, Roscoe, Paul, Lemon Hoko, Trench, Rita's, Juicy Light, 420, Grant Manual. Oh, I love this song. Mary Band, Sammy Sizzle, 81, 9-inch Colas, Chris Moo, DK Trades, Vision Creator, Guru, The Kind Brood, Cannon Nation, J Wire, Rob Wobby, Sean Bibbs, Rescue Ready, Roadside LLC, Notorious Nugs, Magna Seeds, Father and Son, Trimming Tutorials, Dub T Dank, Jose Martin Perez, Doggle Hut, 420, Ooh, Fuck Chiba Man, GR 420, Community Videos, Detroit River Rat, Louis Garcia, Michael P, AJ Everyday, Audit Everywhere, Cheddar Bob, where you been? Maine 420, Med Roarborg, Jay Kendricks, In for the Grill, Kept Backwoods All Good, Tallyman Sal, Adam Skankin, Chanel Simpson, One Smoke Away, Ganja Roads, Kazoo, Aaron Burnage, Angel Studios, MG, the 420, Grotep, Paul Diella, John Fleming, Dankovich, Fibro Flower, Polly P, Seldom Seen, Elevated, Lenny, Organic, Sunman, Chiba Sunny, Jeff Ocala, Popelic, sorry Jeff, Ricardo Sosa, Dan J, Earth Friendly Farming, Candy Forest Farmer, Fuck All That, Be the Misfit Grower, Jason Line 512, Snake Eyes, Northern 446, Jason Greystone, Stoney Baker, MD, so glad you're doing better, Stony Creek, Rothstein, Fringe Dweller, Tarzan, Superman, Old Man Hermit Hash, Freebird, Mo Grower, Matty Guard, Simple Man, Survival Time, Tim Blake, Golf Coast, Chronic, Stink Fed, Cavalier, Polero, Harley, Grower, Jen God, Jason 5, Jason Line 512 again, Steve Collins, Todd Kendricks, Property Maintenance, Sharpie, The Island Hayes, Scuba Steve Sweets, J.R. Ream, Randy Case, TCDR, you have very missed Claire Killian, Wardrobe Farming, Randy Grande, Piff 1000, Ace Boo 3223, Wiggle, Captain Freedom B, Puffer Smiles, 15 digit, Mr. Gouge, Mook Cash, Fred G, Super Bomb, Groski 808, Weekend at Birdie's K Station, or K-Bag, Justin Station, that's it is. Strong Style, Organic, Sippy, I-Medic 31, Honesty, K-Hell, Me All Flower, Brent Book, Todd Kendricks, Noon, KNT, Chris D, Truth, Serum, Photons, Nanny Dread, Barbara Matthews, Ancient Soul, Homegrown, Kevin Jiu-Jitsu, Canna Health and Happiness, Berserk 215, Collab, Low Cut, Edward Trendy, Mo Manning, Beds, Raz Benji, Helen, Huge Anus, James T, Atomic Spoons, Miss Jill, Big Daddy LT Gardens, High Flyer 420, Lobster Brush, Bro, Main Tree, Maine, Red Pill, Your Boy, Roy Boy, Static Shannon, Giving It, Wuhan, Rick W, Comfortably Numb, One Smoke Away, The 840 Show, Rick Lamb, Red Pill 710, thank you for popping in, Pursuit, Cannabis Pursuit, K Rolling, Worthy, Buzz, Logan Man, 81, Oil and Flower Podcast, The Entourage, Effect, Lauren Dixon, Pink Lady Luck, El Mondo 420, surrounded by Keith, Ferrari Farms, Friends, Dwellers, Single Fathers. I love that name, by the way. Happiness Without Guilt. Richard Forbes, Daniel Pimenta, B4P Funk, Nika T, John Reese, What About Bob, Prince Patty, Daniel Bergman, Green Puffin Man, B. Dungley, James Chung, Sarge Groves, 818, John Wayne, Carolina Roots, Sister Golden Hair, Deanna El Reno, K&F Gardens, Blank 1030, Choose One, Only Feet, Farmer James, Crypto Dope, Richard Lamb, again, HIP Grower, Matt Javine, Dan Marino, Chronic Wonder, Sunrise Grows, Top Floor Genetics, Mole Vision 420, Can2 Cannabis, Jesse Fisher, My Dog Nelly, Rooster Farms, Alex Hardy Gear, one and the same, Many Cropper, Daniel Grows Photos, Mint and Grow Meds, Sunrise Grove, of course, my baby girls, Lexi, Brittany, Mo Limit 916, Grumpy Toad, Alchemist, and Canna Mink, Soil Born Addiction, Ross, Joe, Alex D, Dirty Or, Catfish, High Power, Thunder Dan, Propagation Station, John McDaniels, Lisa Marie, Sarge Grows 818, Blaze Daily, Fried Piper, Perpetual, Eagle Pride Warrior, Sarah Smiles for You, Frank Usada, The Dankin Touches, Keno, Kelly Maxwell, Captain 420, Stinkfat, What About Bob, Il Juster, Pop Shrooms, John Gorski, John Doe, Dugan Gangsta, THC4, PTSD, T Barrington, Honcho Grown, Swamp Cat, Paulero Bumbinka, Cannabinka, That's because John Doe, or that's Jen Doe, sorry. Mr. Manny D. Canifari, Fold 20 AB Normal, Frank Guerrero, Bear Feet, J. Brent 74, CK Brown Guy 420, Pachyderm, Burning Tree, Mani Eggs, Great Sun, Grow Sun 207, Hydro Daily, Hemp with GG, Jamie Reen, Grape Supreme, Stoney Rockafeller was here last night and popped in again today. Thank you, Stoney. Great pleasure meeting you, my friend. Cannabis, Caveman Cannabis, Bruce Synthetics, Hawaiian Synthetics, Midnight Roots, Dead Cynics, Knuckles, Michael P, Polly B, Quick B, Nimble, Bud Kilowatts, Polly D, or Michael D, Football 8, Disbanded Brothers, Man, Joseph, Grace, Medicine RX, Keep It Chief, Hydro Daily, Concerned American Cannabis 411, Freedom of Speech, Dr. Jointsworth, D's 3, Ganja, Sudoku, Oil 710 is Oil Upside Down, Jesse White, Victoria Verdach, I'm sorry, Victoria, I know I'm fucking that up. What about Bob? Scared, Sacred Garden, Gus Grow, Slick Rick 8, Dog Pound, Dave in Seattle, Amav Watts. Got sing Yeti for one more time for the hell. Ed Brin, MN, Rome, Michael, Uncle Elmer. Sorry about that, Uncle Elmer. Off Grid Terps, Christopher 54. Who else we got here? I am Alex. Our Predator. I think that's what that is. Matthew SoCal, Sioux, Illinois, Man Beaters, Chinks Proof, of course. Can't forget him. We got Dake House Genetics, Stoner Dude, Joel from North Star Genetics, and of course, last but never least, our good friend, Judas 207. That is a great song. It's kind of crazy when you think about how far we've come. A lot of this shit feels like it was just yesterday. Oh, we got to put on there too. We got to shout out Carol Ann, right? Can't forget Carol Ann. Need to be on the list, right? Sorry, now I got to put Weedus 207 again. Last but never least. That's love to you, Weedus 207. Appreciate you guys throwing up them links all the time. You and all the other fucking amazing minds. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, man. You just don't know how much this means to me doing this night after night. The fact that you guys, better than a year later, are still showing up. Priceless. I love you guys. You guys know the deal. If this is the end of your day, your journey for the day, a little tongue tied there. Please get some rest. This is the beginning of your day, your journey. Please help somebody else. Please do something nice. Random acts of kindness do save lives. I'm a living, breathing example of that. Never gonna quit beating that drum, guys. Too simple. How you doing? Open the door. Help somebody in the lumberyard with some wood, some sheets of plywood. Carry some bags out. One elderly lady. Gentlemen, either or, whatever applies. Make sure some friends got some nugs. It helps. Give them some discount nugs. It doesn't matter. All your parents, your kids. So picture Lexus took me back. I gotta call them all. I gotta call them the biggest girl. She was just here. Goes by so quick. So quick. Just like today will. Before you know it, 11:30 tonight. I've been slacking. Dr. Dendro, I believe. Try and look it up. Please join me tonight, 11:30. Hopefully, if there's a guest, for some odd reason there is no guest, join me tonight at 2:20. Love you guys. Have a great day.